Always streaming on the ESPN Chicago app.
Check this out.
Good morning to you on this Saturday. Tyler, Rocky, and Shea Norling with you until 9 a.m. right here on ESPN Chicago. You can always watch the show on YouTube and Twitch and take us on the go with the ESPN Chicago app. Shea's probably off his fourth viewing of The Odyssey already.
No. Still only one.
Surprised.
Surprised. Round 2 tomorrow.
So you secured tickets for tomorrow?
Yeah, round 2 tomorrow.
You're not going to IMAX, are you?
No, not the Woodridge.
You're just going to...
Dude, it's impossible to get
with
tickets.
Casuals tomorrow?
I genuinely feel bad for people. Like, you can't get tickets to... I feel bad for myself.
What? Okay, hold on.
I want to go get tickets
You
to
have
this.
already seen it once
Not
in the
that.
IMAX?
Not at the Woodridge one, no.
Okay. Not in like the super duper bedsheet IMAX?
No.
Damn.
And I want to badly, but it's impossible to get tickets. I was looking, I'm like, I'm off work at 9 a.m. Maybe I can figure out a showtime on a weekday that's going to be less attended. Here you go, 11:20 in the morning on Tuesday. Which of these seats would you like?
They're all front row.
And if you're in the front row at the 70 millimeter IMAX, you're going to break your neck looking up at the screen for 3 hours.
Right. Damn. Where is this in terms of like movies that have been the most difficult for you to get tickets to?
Got to be close to the top. I mean, even like the regular IMAX.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't remember there being like this level of demand for movie tickets ever. I've always felt like there's just been inventory.
Well,
you may not get like the ideal time, but there's always been inventory if you truly wanted to go.
People are just going to the movies again. The Odyssey's going to break an opening weekend record. It's on pace for like $120 million in its first weekend. I read something the other day. This is the first year that the box office is expected to go north of $10 billion since 2019.
Okay.
And that's with people rejecting the Star Wars movie and the live-action Moana movie. And like all these Warner Brothers and Disney movies are flopping, and yet the box office is going to soar past expectation for the first time in 7 years.
So you're saying the theater's back?
I'm saying movies are back.
I thought you said something
Not
absurd
slop
yesterday.
films either. Real movies are back.
Ethical cinema?
Ethical cinema is back. Slop dead.
I thought you said something absurd yesterday in our pre-show meeting with talking about this, because it's well documented the struggle of the theaters as of late. And you said, oh, no, it's going to be out of the theaters. They're just going to pull it. If there's demand, why the hell would they pull this?
Well, so it depends on, like, I don't know how long Oppenheimer ran in 70 millimeter. I think it was longer than expected. But it depends on what the next movie is that can be shown in this format.
Is there one coming up?
Dune, but that's not until December. I don't know if there's one in between.
Time.
Like, I think the Spider-Man movie got knocked off of a lot of premium screens because they want to keep the Odyssey on it. So maybe it'll be out there longer. You can wait, but I would just advise go see it in regular IMAX if you can. But even that's difficult.
Would you even advise going to a non-IMAX?
No.
Really?
No.
Okay.
I would not. If I'm spending the money to go to the theaters, I'll spend a little bit more and I'll see it in IMAX. I would not go see it in a regular screen. If you want to do like the film projection someplace, like Music Box has the 70 millimeter film, but it's not IMAX. There's a couple theaters showing it that way. Sure. But no, I going and seeing it in standard. You know who did that? Former coworker of ours.
Who? Name names.
No. I don't remember his name. Went and this dude stands on business that he doesn't want to spend extra money to see it in IMAX.
Z-Pack?
No.
Oh.
Rhymes with Bliss Kleck.
Okay.
Refused to go in IMAX. He said, I will only see movies in a regular theater.
You know what? Good for him.
I don't understand.
And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to wait till it comes out on streaming because I know that'll anger you.
You're just the worst.
Because I know that'll anger you.
It'll anger your former roommate, too.
Yeah, well, that's fine. I don't care. What's he going to do about it?
You already pissed him off when you said Jaws is terrible, so you might as well just make it worse.
It's true. That's true. If you want to join us, 312-332-3776. Sox win last night. Dominant fashion over the Blue Jays, the Cubs lose last night after getting out to an early lead on the Minnesota Twins. Today is a big day in Wrigleyville today. It is the unveiling of the championship gate out in Wrigleyville today. And I think the gate looks cool. I think the gate is it's worthy of celebrating the 2016 team. I would just ask any Cubs fan this. Do you give any bit of a rat's ass about the 1907 or 1908 teams? Because I would have thought that this gate should have just been a shrine for the 2016 team. It should have been the big 2016 over the arch there, and then the two pillars on the edges of the gate should have just been plastered with all the names of everyone that was associated with those teams, maybe some of the moments, the schedule, all that stuff. And I'm shocked that we're including the 1907 and the 1908 teams on the quote-unquote championship gate because, let's be honest, if you're going to open a championship gate, you probably need more than 3 championships in your franchise's history.
So for the longest time, the conversation was who from that team is going to get a statue.
Right.
And now I wonder if there will be one. And I got to be honest, I walked by this yesterday.
It looks really nice. You don't like it?
Kind of underwhelming.
I think it looks cool, but it lacks. What's the art concept? It's like too simple, I feel like, in terms of there's too much open space on it.
Yeah, that's how I felt.
You haven't won enough championships for a gate.
Right. Well, I'm walking by it and I'm just like, oh, okay. Like it's kind of whatever to me. And I'm not a fan, so I don't really have the right to say whether it's good or not, but it felt a little underwhelming. And I think a part of it is what you're saying is 1907, 1908, 2016. The only one that anyone is alive for is 2016.
Right.
You should build a monument to that.
Right. It should have just been a shrine to 2016 because no one cares about 07 and 08. You can hang the banners in the outfield like you do at Wrigley. It's so funny, too, because you bring up the statue conversation. And I feel like the 2016 Cubs have a very complicated legacy in the sense that it was a great team. It broke the curse. There's a lot of fan favorites on there. But how many players are statue or number retirement worthy or anything of that nature? Because there's a lot of guys on there who you thought would be Cubs for life, or at least Cubs for a long majority of their career. And you really can't say that about many people aside from Kyle Hendricks.
So, do you want Rizzo's number retired?
I wouldn't fight it, but I'm not.
Do you want KB's number
I'm
retired?
not banging the table for Rizzo's number to be retired. To me, I think that that Brian and Brizzo, as they were affectionately known, should be synonymous. Whatever one gets, the other should get. Because, Rizzo was a great player, but the heights of Chris Bryant were so much higher than Rizzo's. Chris Bryant was the MVP. He was the guy that kind of signaled the next superstar in Chicago sports. Think about where Chicago sports was on the heels of, or when Chris Bryant was called up to the big leagues in 2015. You were kind of on the outs with Derrick Rose and everything that was happening there. You had Jimmy Butler here, but that felt like there was so much friction, and that probably wasn't for long. The only thing that was really going well, it felt like, was the Blackhawks at the time and the dynasty that they were building. And that probably didn't feel like it was at the end, but in hindsight, we obviously know 2015 was the last championship that group won. That's not to say that Kane and Taves and Keith and the rest of them didn't have great careers after that 2015 season, because they did. But Chris Bryant kind of signaled what the new age of Chicago superstars was going to look like, and he lived up to it in 2016, but he never really he had a couple other flash years, but injuries and everything else kind of overtook it. And it's one of these sad demises of Chicago sports, because he wasn't unlikable by any stretch. A lot of those White Sox players in 2021 that were building their way up to superstardom, at a certain point, they became unlikable.
Yep.
And it never got that way with Chris Bryant. It just became a sad demise that injury overtook him. And kind of in the same way that it happened with Derrick Rose. But even Derrick Rose had like an unlikable stage because there was always the will he, won't he play.
Yep.
And it drew the ire of a lot of Bulls fans. And I think in hindsight, a lot of Bulls fans would say, yeah, it was probably pretty silly that we chastised Derrick for the way that he tried to approach his rehab and his comeback from the ACL and even the meniscus too. But KB, it felt like never really had that. So there's so many complicated legacies because then you look at some of the other guys. Jake Arrieta, none of those guys had as dominant of a run as Jake Arrieta did. Like 2015 Jake Arrieta is one of the most dominant single seasons that we've seen in Chicago sports. You've probably got like some MJ years and maybe some Walter Payton years, but then it's like Jake Arrieta and it's 2015.
Don't you just make a statue of
the final out? Or like the
Bryant celebrating and Rizzo pocketing the ball and then leave it at that?
Like them all jumping.
Or
like
all of them,
dog piling.
Like something like that. Rather, because you think about, I think Carmen and Peggy talked about this a little bit yesterday. Aroldis Chapman probably the only Hall of Famer from that team.
And even his candidacy is questionable. I think he should get in.
Well, he's going to end up maybe the all-time leader in saves or second
That's
on the
true.
list.
And
He'll be.
You want to talk about a guy who revolutionized velocity in the
100%.
sport? Like he was the guy who was starting to throw consistently over 100 more than anyone else.
But like Schwarber, I still think is an extreme long shot.
I don't know if he's an extreme long shot because he's got a path to 500 home runs. And
Gary Sheffield's got 500. He's not getting in.
Yeah, but I think Schwarber's different because of the playoff track record and everything too. And just I don't know what the likability of Gary Sheffield was or wasn't, but we know how this works, right?
Yeah.
If the writers love you, they're going to vote you in. The writers love Schwarber. So I think if it's 50-50, he's going to get in.
But does Schwarber have any chance of having his number retired or a statue?
No, not a
Wrigley?
chance because he's got
a Philly.
It's weird because it's a short tenure. And like if he does get into the Hall of Fame, it ain't as a Cub.
No, it'll be a Philly.
It'll be as a Philly. And I heard Anthony Rizzo talk about this on the Home Run Derby on Monday. He said, as much as it pains me, like the guy's known as a Philadelphia Philly now. And he's right. He's 100% right. But like Rizzo's not a Hall of Famer. Bryant's not a Hall of Famer.
Not even close.
Like, yeah, none of these guys are even really close. And
it's kind of shocking because if you had asked in the immediate aftermath of the 2016 World Series how many of these guys are going to make the Hall of Fame, you'd be like, oh, Bryant, Rizzo, they're on track, no doubt.
Mm-hmm. And then you'd think like one of the younger guys probably would pop, whether it was Baez or Schwarber. Like one of them would at least be knocking on the door.
And Schwarber is going to be the only one who even threatens.
Lester's got a chance, I think. I would guess probably not. But what does he have? 3 World Series, and he's like a fundamental piece of 3 World Series.
It's just the bar is so unforgivingly high to get into the MLB.
Dude,
I was
looking at this yesterday. I forget how this came up. You know, because I was thinking about. We were talking yesterday, the sports cities and franchises that we hate, and the Cubs were playing the Twins, and somehow Johan Santana popped in my mind, and I was thinking to myself, like, is Johan Santana in the Hall of Fame? And I looked it up. He's not in the Hall of Fame, and he's not even close. Like he was on the ballot, and he got less than 5% of. I think he got like about 2.5% of the vote,
and he's worth almost 8 WAR more than John Lester.
Look at like the 4-year run that Johan Santana had. I think it was like the end of his Twins career bleeding into the Mets career. Look at that run that he had. He's a Triple Crown winner on the pitching side of things, and that guy didn't get into the Hall of Fame.
Multi-time Cy Young.
But just like thinking about it from the top of my head, I was like, what does my gut say? Should Johan Santana be in the Hall of Fame? My gut would just thinking about it would be, yeah, absolutely. Like I didn't want to look at the numbers yet, but just thinking about like the impact of what did I think of Johan Santana while he was playing? Now, I was like 10 years old at the time, so I was probably a little more impressionable and thought everyone was a Hall of Famer. But then I went back and looked at him like, you look at the dominant run that he had.
Right.
That's a guy who probably should be in the Hall of Fame. But Lester's, like you said, well short of his career accomplishments. And if Santana can't get in the Hall of Fame, how the hell is Lester going to get in the Hall of Fame?
All right, let me offer you this then. What if you just build a Theo statue?
See, Theo's the one that I think he deserves a statue. I think Madden deserves some sort of recognition as well. And I think managers may be a little different, but like Joe Madden, when we think of like the championship coaches in this town,
Would you retire his number?
absolutely. Absolutely. And I would, in the same vein, I would put up a banner that just says Theo. I don't think you can put in a banner that just says Epstein up there, as we may have learned yesterday.
Someone tried that yesterday.
Hit a button, turn them off. We gotta go. We're out of here.
But
That'll be all.
I think you put a Theo banner up there, and I think you retire 70. And I know there's like the case to be made about Hendricks too, and it's complicated because like, again, it's kind of how I feel about if you were to retire 44. If you retire 44, you got to retire 17. And if you're retired 28, I feel like you got to retire 34 for Lester. And I don't know if either guy is like overwhelmingly worthy of like the number retirement. Again, for a lot of these, I wouldn't fight them. I just don't know if I'm going head over heels, banging the table. This has to be done.
All I know is if the Champions Gate is what they do as the special thing to commemorate 2016, I don't think it's enough.
I'm with you.
I think it's underwhelming if that's the commemoration.
And you know what? I do think they'll continue to drag this thing out and drag it out and drag it out. And like, listen, I think it's the most significant championship in Chicago sports history. It should be celebrated. But 312-332-3776, if you want to talk about the championship gate, what do you think the Cubs should do? And how
you said gate, right?
I did say gate. Yes, the championship gate. And how do you think the 2016 team should be remembered, whether it's statues, jersey retirements, all that stuff? Because I always think it's a fascinating conversation whenever we get one in this city. So 312-332-3776 is Tyler and Shea.
White Sox play in the afternoon.
If you want the Sox will still be available in our normal spot.
ESPN 1000 and the ESPN Chicago app. And if you don't want to miss Waddle and Sylvie,
The Waddle and Sylvie Show will air on our YouTube channel.
the best of both worlds.
You will get Waddle and Sylvie even when the White Sox are playing. So it's youtube.com/Waddle and Sylvie.
It's your choice. Waddle and Sylvie. Watch them live daily 2 to 6 on YouTube.
Save big on all of your electrical projects when you shop at Menards. Zero Wire is an American-owned leading manufacturer of electrical building wire for residential, commercial, and industrial applications. Menards stocks convenient, pre-cut lengths of wiring products for both indoor and outdoor projects. Save big on electrical wire and cable products at Menards. Plus, visit Menards.com to view our weekly flyer and check out all of the great deals happening this week.
Save big money at Menards.
It's Gabriel Fluffy Iglesias Live.
When it comes to the department of cuddling, this is what I want. I prefer a big girl. I want a big girl. Oh yeah. This way we both can agree on the temperature of the thermostat.
Saturday, August 1st, the venue at Horseshoe Casino. Get tickets at the Horseshoe Casino, all Ticketmaster outlets, and Ticketmaster.com. Don't miss Gabriel Fluffy Iglesias Live. Play smart. Must be 21 or older to gamble or attend events.
Big Ten football is back in Chicago, and this fall it has a new home, the new Ryan Field. With a schedule featuring Penn State, Iowa, Illinois, and an explosive offense powered by mastermind Chip Kelly, the Northwestern Wildcats are poised to make big waves in the Big Ten this season. Visit newryanfield.com to place a deposit and unlock access to the best seats with the best view for the best price. Visit newryanfield.com today.
You're in the market. The clock's ticking, and this is your moment. Jeff Joniak here, and I know how much pride Chicago takes in a team that shows up, works hard, and gets the job done. That's exactly what you'll find at Arlington Toyota. The same trusted people you've known for years are now backed by new ownership from the Andy Moore Auto Group, bringing even more value every day. A full lineup of new Toyotas is ready for you. Dependable when it matters most, and built for Chicago roads. Step in, take the wheel, and drive home a winner today at ToyotaArlington.com.
There's only one Ozempic.
Hello,
I'm Ozempic. Because this ad is 30 seconds, I can't get into everything I'm FDA approved to do, so I'm just going to play my jingle again. But first, ask your doctor about which FDA approved uses of me, the Ozempic pen, may be right for you. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and learn more about Ozempic semaglutide injection, 2 milligrams. Only Novo Nordisk makes FDA approved Ozempic. Now here's that jingle again.
There's only one Ozempic.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert Instant Loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Kylie, what's wrong? I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money.
Have you tried the Albert app? Albert is your financial assistant, helping you find ways to save and create custom budgets to actually grow your money. Plus, you can get up to $10,000 for big expenses or advance up to $1,000 fast when you need cash right away.
Albert can get me up to $10,000?
Exactly. Albert spots you in a pinch and helps you grow your money in the long run.
I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code BUDGET to borrow up to $10,000 for whatever you need. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code BUDGET to borrow up to $10,000. Use code BUDGET to borrow up to $10,000.
Welcome back to Tyler Rocky and Shea Norling. We're back on ESPN Chicago.
Taking your calls as the championship gate officially unveiled at Wrigley today. But is that enough for the 2016 Cubs? Because I just think it's such a complicated legacy that entire group has. And a lot of it has to do with longevity of how long some of those guys ended up being Cubs and ended up being relevant Cubs, frankly. Because you look at guys like Javi Baez. Like, Javi Baez had one of the better second acts out of 2016 of any of the Cubs. But then he ends up getting traded, and obviously we've seen how his career has gone from that, and it's just been so topsy-turvy all over the place. And what you did after your Cubs career really doesn't matter all that much in terms of how you're probably getting remembered by this group. But it is one of the fascinating ways that because I feel like a lot of the other championships, it's pretty cut and dry.
Yeah.
As to how we're going to remember these guys. 85, like, pretty easy. There's a lot of guys that got in the Hall of Fame from that team.
Yep.
You had Walter, you had Mongo, you had Hampton, you had Singletary, and a number of others. With the Blackhawks, Kane, Taves were the clear poster boys of it all.
Yep.
Then you had Keith. Brent Seabrook, a big part of that too.
Like Kane is the
Hossa.
greatest American hockey player.
Yeah.
Like there were icons on these teams, and it's so bizarre almost how good the 2016 team was that they really never even got close to doing it again. And the way that these careers ended up, where none of these guys are all-time players.
I'm trying to think if it's like kind of similar to the 05 White Sox in the sense that, like, how many players from that team got to the Hall of Fame? Did any really get to the Hall of Fame? Like, obviously Frank was a part of the team, but like he wasn't really on the team. Yeah, like you're not talking about like Hall of Famers out of this group. And I almost feel like
Mark Burley's always the argument, but we know what that is. Mark Burley's probably not
Burley's
getting
never
into the
getting into the Hall of Fame. And like you can love him all you want, but that might kind of be just like the Lester, right? Where yeah, he was the horse of the staff, and he's probably the most synonymous of the pitching group that was there. But he's not a Hall of Famer. And I don't know, maybe it is a little bit like that. And like out of this group, I'm thinking through what is it? It's just, I think, Konerko that has his number retired. And that could maybe end up being like Rizzo. Because, like, I think a lot of people in this town view Konerko and Rizzo similarly.
Sure.
Whereas, like, they are the face. They were the favorite player. They were probably the most popular jersey out of all of them. Now, in Konerko's case, he also was, like, probably the best player on the team. I don't think Rizzo was the best player on the team during those stretch of Cubs years. I always thought
it was Bryant.
I was always a Bryant guy. Like, not that you were, yeah,
it was Bryant.
Yeah, like not that you were picking allegiances per se, but like, I definitely think people had a pick of like you were a Bryant guy or you were a Rizzo guy.
Well, and even after, like, it was Javi that was it 2017 when he finished second for MVP, and he had the
I think it was a little after that, maybe
year.
2019.
Like, Javi was the one after KB and Rizzo that was more like, oh, this guy's the best player on the team now. But even Javi, his second act has been, for me, incredibly disappointing. It's just it's interesting the way that this played out for all these guys, and I don't know what the right way to honor them is, but I don't think the Champions Gate is enough.
Right, and I think the Sox, frankly, honored their 05 team very well. They've got the monument outside the home plate gate. Like, I think that's a really cool way to honor the team. And I think they did it right. They did it well. And I feel like everyone that deserved to be honored has gotten honored. Like, Burley's got the statue out there. And it's like, but that, I guess that's the one place where Burley and Lester are different, is tenure with the team. Because the tenure that Burley had with the White Sox is it just feels way more significant than what Lester had with the Cubs.
I agree with that.
And that's not to say Lester didn't endear himself to Cubs fans, because what Lester signaled was the start of seriousness, it felt like.
No, and I think Mark Burley's synonymous with the 05 championship in a way that, like, and not to diminish Lester's part in 16, but Burley feels synonymous with that team in a way that Lester doesn't. Like, when I think of the 2016 Cubs, and again, I'm not a fan, but when I think of that team, I think of Chris Bryant and Anthony Rizzo, and I think of Jake Arrieta, and I think of, like, the big names on that team.
I mean, Hendricks started game 6 of the NLCS, and he started game 7 of the World Series. Like, Hendricks, and I think, like, you look at Hendricks, I feel like you can't have one without the other with those big 3 pitchers of Lester, Arrieta, Hendricks. Like, they're all kind of, they don't win without one of those guys. If one of those guys didn't pull their weight, they don't win the World Series that year. But 312-332-3776. Joe on the Northwest side. What's up, Joe?
Good morning, guys. How you doing today?
Morning.
Everybody's talking about number 44 for Rizzo, but, Cub fans got to remember that if you do your history on the Cubs, there was a great ball player the Cubs had named Phil Cavarretta, who played first base for the Cubs from the tail end of 1934 up until 1954 when he told P.K. Wrigley, your team stinks, and then they fired him, and he was at the White Sox since 1954 and 1955. So let's lay off the retirement of 44 for Rizzo. I realize they won the World Series, and I don't think it's a complicated celebration. I agree with you guys, okay? They should just give everybody credit for it, everybody that did credit. Some guys get more credit than the others. And when I hear some fans talk about retiring Joe Madden's number 70, remember, Joe Madden almost blew the World Series. Okay, we did win the World Series. Why would you take Hendricks out of Game 7? There's a lot of Cub fans like myself that still can't get over that, because all he did was bring in Lester. Lester gave up a couple of runs, and all hell broke loose after that. Okay, so Madden gets way too much credit for a team where basically, guys, everybody was great that year. But as far as number retirement, none of them should get their number retired. Just have some nice pictures around the ballpark.
I tell you, I don't hate that take, though.
Joe, what about Theo?
Well, you could use his name. I agree with that. Yeah.
Okay.
I can go along with Theo.
I think a Theo statue makes sense.
I mean,
the dungeon
right
by the penthouse.
Sure.
Yeah. Thanks for the call, Joe. Good call there. And it is interesting. Like, yeah, because Madden's legacy is complicated too.
100%. The rain delay saved his ass.
The rain delay saved his ass. But let's. I mean, we've heard the story from a number of guys on this station. What was the message in the rain delay speech? It was pretty much F Madden. Like, we're gonna win this.
It was Jay Hayward
in spite of him. So there is that complicated part of his legacy to all of this too, because like Madden, I think he brought a seriousness and a professionalism, and he connected with a lot of those players But did he also maybe overthink some things too? Sure. But what manager doesn't at times? Again, it's so results based. If a couple of his decisions go one way and not the other, maybe we look at him differently, for better or for worse. And that's why it's complicated.
I tell you what, there should be a statue of Javi Baez carrying like a travel bag, like a duffel bag, walking away from Wrigley with PCA and a Cubs jersey walking towards Wrigley. That would be awesome.
Boy, that's like boy.
Javi in street clothes carrying a duffel bag.
Because if you want to talk about the next generation of Cubs, Javi's the most significant because of what he fetched.
Yeah.
When you look at all these guys that got traded off of this 2016 team, you didn't get anything out of the Bryant trade. You're probably not getting anything out of the Rizzo trade unless Alcantara becomes something, which I would probably bet against at this point. Yeah, you really didn't fetch anything aside from the Javi trade.
Non-tendered Schwarber.
Non-tendered Schwarber.
Javi's going to get you the best center fielder in team history.
Yep. 312-332-3776. Cody is in Elmhurst. What's up, Cody?
What's going on, guys? Snorling, good to talk to you. It's been about a year. Last time I was on this line, you tried to stampede Ohio State rolling over Miami in the playoffs of college football. We all know how that went. Not why I'm calling in, but I do believe that there's a certain part of this where some of it should be left up to a fan vote. As a season ticket holder, an amount of money on those tickets. Am I built for 162? I'll leave that to another host to decide. But I feel like there should be a collective vote or have some weighting of the vote from the fan base that spends hard-earned dollars on these games to go see these guys play. Thanks, folks. Appreciate you.
All right. Thanks for the call, Cody.
Actually, don't hate that.
Really?
I'll be honest.
As a season ticket holder, knowing that there would be some power wielded by me, I'm so anti that. I'm so anti having the fans vote on jersey retirement. I think that is absurd.
Yeah, it's not my preferred thing. I think the team should make the decision, but I wouldn't hate if you had a collection of ideas and then asked the fans for their input on the best way.
I wouldn't have a vote if they maybe led with a survey or something to just kind of get the pulse of the fan base.
That would probably be the best. Yeah.
And then you make your decision from there.
Yeah.
That I'm not fighting against, a survey or something, but a vote I think would be ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. 312-332-3776. We'll continue to take your calls. Coming up next here, how should the 2016 Cubs be remembered around Wrigley Field? 312-332-3776 is Tyler and Shea.
This is Tyler and Shea on Chicago's Home for Sports, ESPN Chicago.
Hey, it's Rich Eisen. You can now listen to The Rich Eisen Show right here on the home of the Chicago Bears.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays noon to 2.
ESPN Chicago.
Guys at Jerko, after playing football for as long as I did, one thing never changed. You're always looking for that edge. Better preparation, better results. Why settle for average when you don't have to? That's why Blue Chew Gold caught my attention. Blue Chew Gold is a revolutionary 4-in-1 formula designed to work on both your body and your mind. It combines 2 proven ingredients for blood flow with apomorphine and oxytocin to help enhance arousal, desire, and connection. It's not just about being physically ready, guys. It's about feeling confident, getting mentally dialed in, getting your mind right. It dissolves under your tongue and can start working in as little as 15 minutes. Less waiting, more confidence when it matters most. Ladies, if you're listening, send your guy the link. He'll thank you later. We've got a special deal now for all our listeners. Get 10% off your first month of Blue Chew Gold with code ESPN. That's promo code ESPN. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. And we thank Blue Chew for sponsoring.
Apt, your #1 destination for the home for 90 years, has everything you need to furnish your home. Explore our newly expanded furniture department with stylish, comfortable pieces for every space in your home. With beds, sectionals, dining tables, and more, our showroom offers high-quality furniture from a wide range of brands. You can also get assistance from Apt's design experts, whether you're furnishing a single room or your whole home. For free in-home delivery, professional installation, and complete satisfaction, shop at Apt, pleasing people since 1936.
A round of golf should be more than just a game. It should be an experience. At Seven Bridges Golf Club, you'll find 100-year-old oaks, rolling fairways, and of course, at least 7 bridges. a championship course with a private field, just a half hour from Chicago. And when the final putt drops, the experience isn't over. Head to the Dock Bar and Grill for great dining, cold drinks, and sunset views that rival any 19th hole. Visit 7bridgesgolfclub.com to book your tee time today.
Hey, it's your buddy Tom Waddle, and I drive a Hawk. The 250th anniversary sale is going on all month long at hawkauto.com. Save big with 0% financing for 60 months, plus no payments for 90 days. Check out their giant inventory with over 2,000 vehicles in stock. Choose from 13 big brands at 12 convenient locations, and nobody will pay you more for your trade. The 250th anniversary sale is going on now at hawkauto.com. Drive what I drive. Drive a Hawk. $16.67 per month per thousand finance on select models with credit.
HawkAuto.com.
Hey, it's Shane Orling. Listen, you aren't stuck in traffic. You are traffic. That's right, you. In the car right now, you are adding to the traffic. There's an easy fix. Let the CTA be your driver. For every person that rides the CTA, it's one less car on the road, and you can't beat the price. $5 gets you anywhere in the city and back. So while you're on your third lap around the block looking for parking, the CTA is on track. Easily find wherever you need to go at transitchicago.com/plan a trip. Save money, reduce traffic, ride CTA.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu. My Computer Career, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
I'm David Ortiz. When I lost my mom, she was only 46, and I lost my dad to cancer. It was the worst pain I ever felt. It made me think, what will happen with the people I love when my time is up? That's why I have life insurance. Ethos makes it easy. It's all online, take about 10 minutes, and you can get up to $3 million in coverage.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game. Paid testimonial. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Welcome back to Tyler Rocky and Shane Orling. We're back on ESPN Chicago.
Here's the 0-1. This is going to be a tough play. Bryant, the Cubs, one of the World Series. Bryant makes the play. It's over. And the Cubs have finally won it all. It's 7-10.
One of the most memorable events in Chicago sports history, and that team gets remembered today. We've started to see all the festivities. There was the Lovable Reunion live show on Thursday. They had a bunch of them out yesterday. Rizzo threw out the first pitch. It'll be Kyle Hendricks throwing out the first pitch today. And the whole group's going to be singing the seventh inning stretch. So it's going to be quite the party over in Wrigley today. And I'm sure the party is going to drag on well after the game as well. But the championship gate gets unveiled today, and it's going to be a complicated way to see how this team gets remembered, because not everyone deserves to have their number retired, even though they were great on this team. But what is the best way that this thing should be done? 312-332-3776, because the championship gate is more of an homage, it feels like, to the franchise's history than anything else. It feels more like it's remembering and celebrating the 2016 team as much as it is the 1907 and 1908 team, which, frankly, I don't think any Cubs fan really cares about those teams in 07 and 08. It's 2016, and I feel like the gate should have just been made for them. Line the pillars with the players' names, with moments from the season, with the playoff schedule, maybe even the whole damn schedule from the regular season as well. That, to me, is how the championship gate should have been done.
Put a plaque up of the Game 7 lineup card.
For sure, yeah. And maybe, I know, Pat Hughes is famous for his scorebook, and he still signs, the exact scorecard that he had. Plaster that on as a plaque for it.
One of my buddies works at a golf course, or used to work at a golf course where Pat Hughes golfed. His driver head covers are his scorecard from Game 7.
That's pretty cool. That's extremely nerdy, but that is pretty cool if you're a weird baseball fan like myself. But yeah,
you gonna buy those for your head
dude?
covers?
If they sold those, I probably would.
God. I'm not surprised.
I probably would. Listen, I keep score at a lot of the games that I go to.
Yeah, you do.
I do. You've seen it firsthand.
You're a big scorecard guy.
I am. 312-332-3776. How's this team? How should they be remembered around Wrigley and Wrigleyville? 312-332-3776. Russ is in Palos Heights. What's up, Russ?
Hey, how about this as an idea? A series of holograms with voiceover introducing each player as they come out and then run off the field. There's got to be enough video to be able to digitize each individual player. You could throw everybody in there, each individually at a time. They come out, they stand, then they run off to the side. What do you think about that?
Now, Russ, I like where your head's at in terms of like digitizing it somehow, but I would just say open up a museum at that point, just like a Cubs museum, and then like have the 2016 exhibit.
And just do the real thing. Just have video. You know what I mean? Just take video of the players and put it on a video screen. And like for a day like today, run the real players out.
Right, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I wonder how many are going to be there.
The hologram stuff doesn't move me.
Yeah, hologram is what it is.
I mean, Rizzo and Ross will be there, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, they'll be there. Obviously, Schwarber's not going to be there. It is sad that, like, Bryant's not here for this stuff because it hasn't felt like he's played baseball because he hasn't really played baseball in the last 3-4 years.
Well, haven't the Rockies been very, like, aggressively against allowing him to do stuff?
A lot of that came out, and it was like, it's not true that the Rockies were pushing back. Now, maybe for something like this, they're not as pro. Like, yeah, go celebrate the 2016 Cubs. But, like, there was the whole thing about the Cubs convention this past winter and that the Rockies vetoed allowing Chris Bryant to go be a part of the celebration. And that wasn't true.
You know what, man? Honest to God, just make a Bobby Bonilla deal with him and let him ride out into the sunset and do whatever the hell he wants. Yeah. He's not going to play baseball again. Not. We all know it. Like, it's just Bobby Bonilla deal and let him do whatever he wants to do.
Yep. 312-332-3776. Mark's in South Bend. What's up, Mark?
Hello,
Mark.
Doing, Tyler and Shea?
What's going on?
Good to chime in with you. Yeah, I think that the retirement number for the Cubs, Rizzo was there 4 years before the rest of them came, and he became the captain and kind of the leader of the team as they entered in the playoffs and eventually won the World Series. I kind of like Shea's idea of Pat Hughes' scorecard on public display at the gate.
You can buy it at any one of the shops around Wrigleyville.
Right. And the thing of it is, I was going to ask Shea, the Tigers have a Hall of Fame pitcher who never got his number retired, number 29, who won Game 7 against Bob Gibson in 1968. And when first time I saw Barry Struble pitch, I said, he's got 29? And they didn't retire Lolich's number? I go, wow. And I wonder, Shea, if there's anything behind that, why the Tigers didn't do that.
Cede the floor to you.
It was 26 years before I was born.
So?
I know I have, like, my mom's friends, my dad's friends. I have older guys who have told me, Mickey Lolich, the best I ever saw. And I'm like, I couldn't tell you. I have no idea.
Not the best I ever saw.
Yeah, I never saw him.
Verlander.
Right, exactly. I can tell you 35 will be retired.
Yeah.
There's no question about that.
Yep. All right, we will continue to take your calls and wrap the show coming up next here. It's Tyler and Shea on ESPN Chicago.
This is Tyler and Shea on Chicago's home for sports, ESPN Chicago. Bears.
Over the shoulder.
Bears.
Catch.
Bears.
Made. Go Bears. Touchdown Bears.
Bears Weekly. Host Jeff Joniak and Tom Thayer take you inside with the latest news and the best interviews. Bears Weekly, tonight at 6 on ESPN Chicago and the ESPN Chicago app.
Waddle, good news. I finally broke 100.
Well, that's cute.
Cute?
Yeah, the new goal is breaking flight.
Breaking flight?
Yes, 95. Same number as the calories in a Yingling Flight beer.
So you're telling me that my golf score still isn't low enough?
Well, not if you want to keep up with flight. 95 calories, 2.6 carbs, my friend.
Great, another goal to chase.
Yingling Flight, the next generation of light beer.
DG Yingling & Son, Pottsville, Pennsylvania.
Enjoy responsibly.
Save big money on your next project when you shop at Menards. Make your home more energy efficient with a new front door from Mastercraft. Building the highest quality doors in a variety of styles and finishes. Shop our wide in-stock selection. Or design your door your way, in-store or online. Save big on Mastercraft doors. Plus, view our weekly flyer on Menards.com to check out all the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
Your tee shots can use some straightening. Your chips can use more finesse. Your putts, let's not even go there. Help is around the corner. Golf Center Displays, a year-round automatic driving range with heaters and fans on all stations. A short game area, a 9-hole course that you can even play at night. This is one-stop shopping for any golfer who needs a little help. And don't we all? Golf Center Displays, 353 North River Road in Des Plaines.
From supply lists to shoe shopping, back-to-school prep isn't exactly magical, but the Great Clips app kind of is. You can check in with a few taps and get great haircuts for less, just like that. Download the app today. Great Clips. It's going to be great.
Prizes, flyaways, even cash money. You want it? We've got it. Find a list of all contests and official rules by visiting ESPNChicagoContests.com.
That's ESPNChicagoContests.com.
The Sherwin-Williams Summer Sale is here. Get 30% off select paints and stains or 35% off our newest product, Emerald Symmetry, July 17th through the 27th. Whether you're refreshing your interior or exterior, we've got the colors to bring your vision to life. And with delivery, getting everything to your door is easier than ever. Shop online to have it delivered or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details. Delivery available on qualifying orders.
Drip Drop is doctor-developed, proven fast hydration that helps your body and mind work better. Trusted by firefighters, medical professionals, and over 90% of top college and pro sports teams. Drip Drop is engineered to hydrate faster and more effectively than water alone, with 3 times the electrolytes of leading sports drinks. Stock up now at dripdrop.com and use promo code RADIO20 for 20% off your first order. That's dripdrop.com, promo code RADIO20.
This is a special notice to U.S. taxpayers owing $10,000 or more to the IRS. Tax Relief Advocates is urgently notifying taxpayers that tax relief initiatives are now available that may significantly reduce or eliminate what you owe. If you're afraid of an IRS lien, levy, or wage garnishment, don't lose hope. You can now take advantage of these current relief programs to end all collections, reduce the amount you owe, and resolve your tax problem. Even if you have years of unfiled tax returns or are already in a payment plan, you may still qualify for significant relief. Struggling taxpayers can now get relief they need during these hard economic times. A hotline has been established by Tax Relief Advocates for you to call and see what you qualify for. They are A+ rated with the BBB and have over 1,000 5-star reviews. Don't wait. Call 800-575-9087. 800-575-9087. That's 800-575-9087 or simply visit TRA.com.
Welcome back to Tyler Rocky and Shea Norling. We're back on ESPN Chicago.
Thanks to Zolo, Nick Palazzolo, for producing today's show. If you miss anything, check it out on the Pick a Side podcast, wherever you get your podcasts, including on the ESPN Chicago app. Tyler and Shea with you every single Saturday morning, 8 to 9 a.m. The CDGA Golf Show coming up next. Big controversy to break down. Did you see the big golf controversy this week?
No.
No? You look like you really care, don't you?
I don't. But go ahead. Fill me in.
Well, Bryson DeChambeau got a 2-stroke penalty for fluffing his lie. So, and he was in solo, he was in solo second. And he's been solo second, 1 off the lead, and he got bounced, so now he's 3 back. Big controversy that we'll break down.
I'm not surprised. Sounds like he is going to say that the event was rigged.
I think he's beyond that. But we'll see. Let's hit the phones again. 312-332-3776. Alex is in Schaumburg. What's going on, Alex?
Hey, boys. I just wanted to give you guys somebody that was a little bit younger than 75 years old. Quick question. I wanted to gauge gentlemen of your age there at the station, whether it's you or some of the younger other producers, how into combat sports are you guys? The McGregor fight came and went. There was a lot of controversy when it came to that fight, and I thought it was a great card overall. And, man, to get not one word of it, I think we got a little whisper of it on Monday. But, man, I just wanted to see what your guys' opinion was on combat sports, especially now when there's not, too much going on other than baseball.
I don't watch it all, to be honest with you. I'll check in for the occasional, big boxing match that, people want to watch. Yeah, I didn't watch Tyson and Jake Paul.
Big boxing match that there's been?
Maybe I did watch Tyson Jake Paul because I wanted to see Jake Paul get knocked out. But there aren't big boxing matches anymore.
Right.
I'm just talking about the fake events, the Mayweather McGregor's, the Mayweather Pacquiao stuff.
Mayweather Pacquiao, when Mayweather Pacquiao actually meant something, that's probably the last boxing match I watched.
I don't watch any MMA. I mean, Mario, one of our producers here, is really into MMA. Jordan Sherwood got the Unnamed MMA podcast.
Yep.
I don't watch it. It's not a thing that I commit myself to doing on my weekends.
Yeah. I don't really watch UFC. I'll occasionally check in for some of the bigger fights. I didn't watch the McGregor fight.
I didn't either. I'm glad I didn't because it was only about 15 seconds long.
Right. I will say the one time I got really into UFC, I was really into it in college, towards the end of college. And then I was really into it during COVID when they had Fight Island, where it was the only sport that was going at night. And my brother's really into UFC. So we would watch the UFC fights when they were on Fight Island.
Even then, I didn't really get into it.
But that's one of those moments where if you didn't capitalize off of that, you're probably never going to truly captivate everybody.
Yeah, and the reality is as far as it's kind of a niche thing.
Yeah.
Niche thing. It's just
who actually captured the moment of COVID was golf. Golf was one of the few sports that was going on, and then as a sport to play, the golf boom can be tracked back to COVID, where it was the only activity people could do.
I was watching NASCAR on Sundays.
Were you really?
Oh, yeah.
It was that. There was some KBO. Did you ever wake up for the KBO?
No. My problem was I bet it was Kyle Busch or somebody. It was 20-1 to win a race and then won the race. And I'm holy smokes. I'm watching this every weekend.
That was me with Webb Simpson. Webb Simpson, I can't even tell you what tournament he won, but Webb Simpson won a golf tournament. And we just were watching every tournament. They had the NBC Sports gold pack that you had to buy to watch all the golf stuff.
Yeah, I remember that.
We bought that, the NBC Sports Gold, to watch all the golf. It was fun because it was the only thing that you could watch. It was.
I don't do a lot of the golf. I'm not watching a ton of the combat sports stuff. I've got room in my sports diet for all things football, baseball, college basketball.
Big UFL guy, huh?
No. But the rest of my time, dude, I'm filling it up with I watch movies, I watch TV. I want to do other things with my life than just rot in front of a TV screen.
Did you retire from books?
No, I still read books.
Still read books. Okay.
Uh-huh. So there are other things that interest me. I don't need to fill my time with all these niche sports.
Okay, that's fair.
Not that golf is really niche, but I'll watch majors, especially on Sundays.
Yeah.
But tomorrow, World Cup final, I'm going to be watching that.
See, yeah, that's what I don't dive into soccer.
Are you going to watch the third place game today?
No, that was the most absurd thing. You said this before the show too. I was third place game is today, right? For the World Cup. And I was who's playing in it? And I was what a waste of time. And you just go, oh, kind of like the third place game. Explain yourself.
I do. I like that they play for third place. I like that oftentimes it means something to teams. This year it won't. I don't know what it's going to look like this year because France and England both had. France was a prohibitive favorite to win the whole thing. And England obviously being minutes away from getting to the final. I think both teams are probably disappointed with the way that their World Cup ended. But 2022, Morocco and Croatia weren't even supposed to be anywhere close to the semifinal. They were amped to be playing a third place game.
But this year's third place game, when you've got two storied soccer countries that they don't get to this, they get to this point and they have history to their nation with the sport, whereas like Morocco and Croatia, it feels like the group of 5 team that finds itself in a big time bowl game.
Which again, like I'm interested to see what it'll look like today, but I will watch it.
I saw someone tweeting, it was like, do we treat the
matchup on paper?
Do we treat this? Is the third place game treated like a college football bowl game, where everyone's opting out?
No, because they qualify it as an official World Cup game. So like if Mbappe scores twice today, it goes towards him winning the Golden Boot over Messi, and he's tied with Messi for the lead right now. So they can still like get records. They still get an international appearance. Like it does mean something to the players, though there's debate about how much. I think on paper it's as good a matchup as we'll get.
Is it a better matchup than the final?
No. No, because the stakes are higher in the final. And Spain-Argentina is an incredible matchup as is too.
Let's say this was the final. Let's say England-France was the final. Which matchup would you be more intrigued to watch?
Probably England-France.
Okay. So it is a better matchup than the final.
I guess. And on paper, sure, in a vacuum, yeah, maybe. But I think like the best... Yeah, it's up there. I think France-Argentina would have been the best matchup that we could have gotten.
Because of Messi versus Mbappe?
Well, it would have been a rematch, but just in terms of like the play on the field, France-Argentina, I think, would have been stellar.
Gotcha.
Spain plays a little differently.
All right, real quick. Dean's downtown to wrap the show. What's up, Dean?
Hey, Norling, did you take any gummies or mushrooms to enhance your viewing experience at the Odyssey?
No.
I just wanted to say, watching the UFC, I'm ashamed to say I like it, but I do. Like that last caller, that hillbilly who called up and took a shot at Mark in South Bend and Russ and Palos, 2 legends. Who the hell do you think you are, sir? You wouldn't know class if it took a dunk on your chest. Bam!
You know what? Dean is a blight on this radio station. I'll say it. Downtown Dean is becoming a blight on this radio station.
I think we got to do something different.
He's interested in one thing and one thing only. He wants to call out producers, and he wants to call out other callers.
Yep.
And then he acts like he is this beacon of class. Calling up asking, hey, Shea, did you alter your mindset when you went to the movies? None of your business, 1, and 2, no. And all you do anymore is rip Jack McGrath apart. Or rip another caller apart.
He's going after some of the part-timers now, too.
Yeah, it's become a bit much.
Yeah.
Blight on the radio station.
He's trying to play heel. All right, that's going to do it for us today. The CDGA Golf Show is coming up in 2 minutes here on ESPN Chicago.
This is Tyler and Shea.
I know you're going to dig this.
On Chicago's home for sports, ESPN Chicago.
Hey, it's your buddy Tom Waddle, and I drive a Hawk. The 250th anniversary sale is going on all month long at hawkauto.com. Save big with 0% financing for 60 months, plus no payments for 90 days. Check out their giant inventory with over 2,000 vehicles in stock. Choose from 13 big brands at 12 convenient locations, and nobody will pay you more for your trade. The 250th anniversary sale is going on now at hawkauto.com. Drive what I drive. Drive a Hawk. 1667 per month per thousand finance loan. Select models with credit.
HawkAuto.com.
A round of golf should be more than just a game. It should be an experience. At Seven Bridges Golf Club, you'll find 100-year-old oaks, rolling fairways, and of course, at least 7 bridges. A championship course with a private feel, just a half hour from Chicago. And when the final putt drops, the experience isn't over. Head to the Dock Bar and Grill for great dining, cold drinks, and sunset views that rival any 19th hole. Visit sevenbridgesgolfclub.com to book your tee time today.
Every 40 seconds, a child is reported missing. Find the Children is a nonprofit organization dedicated to helping find missing kids. You can be a part of their mission by donating your unwanted car. Call 1-800-294-0222. You'll receive the maximum tax deduction, and we provide fast, free pickup. Call 1-800-294-0222. Donate your unwanted or unused car. Call 1-800-294-0222. This advertisement was paid for in partnership with Cars R Us and Find the Children.
When we started Oakland Roots Sports Club, we needed a strong foundation.
Gusto has had our back since day one, making sure every hire, every paycheck, and every player is taken care of. They're the team behind our team. With Gusto, we stay rooted and give Oakland the love it deserves. I'm Idris Argandawal, co-founder of Oakland Roots and Gusto customer since 2018.
See why 500,000 businesses trust Gusto for payroll, HR, and more. Get started for free at gusto.com/roots.
This is ESPN
Drive,
Chicago,
Chip.
WMVP, WTBC, HD2 Chicago, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
Drive, chip, and putt. Golf is so easy. 4? Okay, maybe the occasional wedge. Let's talk golf. It's the CDGA Golf Show on ESPN Chicago. Presented by the Glenview Park Golf Club. Now here are your hosts, Mike Gilligan and Tyler Rocky.
Good morning and welcome on into the CDGA Golf Show on ESPN Chicago. Tyler Rocky, Mike Gilligan, and it is a major Saturday, so Casey Richards along with us as well from the CDGA. It is a beautiful Saturday here in Chicago. I'm sure plenty of people getting some rounds in today, and it is a beautiful day, and maybe even it's been too beautiful out at Royal Birkdale over the course of the past couple of days because of some of the scores that we have seen. It does not look like your traditional Open Championship, but it is moving day out at the British Open as they are underway. Leaders have not teed off yet. Currently, your co-leaders, Ryan Fox and Lucas Herbert. Now, Ryan Fox is in the clubhouse after posting a 62, our third 62 that we have seen so far in this tournament. I cannot believe it. It has been just a complete night and day from the Open Championships that we are used to seeing. Casey, good to see you this morning. Mike is out in Myrtle Beach. We'll get his thoughts on everything that's taking place in just a moment here. And as always, we're brought to you by our friends at the Glenview Park Golf Club. Check them out at golfglenview.com. But Casey, what have you made through the first, 2.5 rounds of the Open Championship?
Yeah, Tyler, needless to say, a very eventful championship so far in our final major of the year, both with, the on-course action, as you mentioned, the third 62, tying the lowest round in major history, not once, not twice, but 3 times. Lucas Herbert yesterday had a very good opportunity to break that mark on 18, missing his last putt there. But
5-footer or so?
I think with the British Open, it always kind of comes down to the conditions, right? Sometimes you see them playing in that stereotypical, kind of stormy, dark, rainy weather. We really haven't had that this week. It hasn't been super windy. The course has been, very firm and dry, allowing them to get, more length off the tee and not even really having to hit driver in some instances. I think I saw that Lucas Herbert didn't even have a driver in his bag for the first round and then only hit it a few times yesterday. So, yeah, conducive weather conditions. And then obviously we'll get to all the drama that concluded the day on Friday with Bryson and his ruling and everything like that. So, really not much more you can ask for from a major championship thus far, combining, kind of the off-course storylines, if you will, and then the strong on-course play of a good mix of, superstars. Scotty's right there in the mix. Tommy Fleetwood right there in the mix.
John Rahm,
obviously Bryson, John Rahm.
Yeah.
But then, some upstarts as well in terms of some talented players, the likes of Ryan Fox, Lucas Herbert, things like that.
Yeah, no, it's been a very interesting tournament to watch so far because I think if you look at some of the first couple of names, like Ryan Fox is probably a new name for a lot of golf fans. Lucas Herbert, newer name for a lot of golf fans. Jackson Suber, another one that I don't think people expected to see right here. Ryan Gerard. Then you get into some of the big names, like your guys like Cameron Young, Bryson DeChambeau, Xander, JT, Patrick Reed's had himself a very, very nice day so far on this Saturday. Shane Lowry, Tommy Fleetwood, Scotty Scheffler, John Rahm, like all these guys are kind of hanging around in the mix. And then there's just the sprinkling of some of these other guys. Sam Burns is there after his heartbreak of what took place at the U.S. Open. So it's been a very interesting tournament so far, but I think like you said, it is definitely a non-traditional Open Championship because of the fact that we haven't seen the weather conditions, and that's what makes the Open. And it's crazy that we haven't seen anyone out there with a windbreaker on, or people with rain gear on, or just the swishing nature and the wind blowing back and forth. We're so used to seeing all of that, and we haven't seen any of it. It's just been too nice out there at Royal Birkdale. I can't believe, like, this doesn't feel like an Open Championship, really.
Right. It really doesn't. And as we look at the TV here in the studio, blue skies, the flag
like there's barely a cloud.
Crazy, yeah. So yeah, I mean, obviously Ryan Fox putting himself in good position to get to 8 under, and as you said, co-leader now in the clubhouse. But obviously, I think the expectation would be that some of the guys that are at 4, 5, 6, 8 currently are going to launch by him once they tee off here within the hour.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see, because I feel like a lot of fans right now are probably just thinking, all right, who's the next 62, right? Yeah. Like, we've already seen 3 of them so far. Who's next? And it's not like they're from household names either. It's from Ryan Fox and guys like Lucas Herbert. Like, we weren't expecting 62s out of that crop of players. We would expect it if we saw it from like a Scotty Scheffler or something like that, or Xander Schauffele if he were to go 8 under and around. But I don't think anyone's really expected to see the 62s that we've seen through the first 2 days and change so far. And if it's one, it's something. But if there's a major you'd never expect to see a 62 at, it would be the Open Championship, I feel like.
Right. Yeah, definitely. And, again, kind of the juxtaposition of the competitors who have had it so far is interesting. Herbert, a guy who, kind of up and down career on LIV currently, has won on that circuit this year. So, he's shown some good form. To your point from earlier, Ryan Fox, not exactly a household name, but a guy who's been in contention and multiple times, on tour, New Zealander. And then Sam Burns, really quite an eventful couple of years for him. I mean, really going back to last year's U.S. Open where he was, in the mix, had that kind of weird ruling situation where he was in the standing water there at Oakmont. And then, obviously in contention just about a month ago, and then putting himself in prime position here. So a lot of guys kind of putting themselves in position to break through and win that first major, whether it be him, whether it be a Tommy Fleetwood, who, was kind of the hometown hero,
right.
And really the scene of him kind of surging at the end of his round on Friday in front of the partisan fans was fun to watch as well. So, it's funny, the other shows I've done this year with you guys, I feel like the narrative a lot of times has been, well, there's been somebody who's far and away ahead, whether it was Rory at Augusta, Scotty, at the U.S. Open, and can anybody catch him? It's nice to sit here with you now and talk through a crowded leaderboard and say it's really anybody's tournament at this point.
Right, absolutely. In 312-332-3776, how have the low scores impacted your viewing experience for this year's Open Championship? Because I do think it's good and bad. Again, I don't want to see, it'll feel really weird and gross if we see an Open Championship winner walk away sitting at like 14 under, right? Like, that's not what we're used to seeing in major championship golf, especially at this major. But I do kind of like that. Yeah, we could see Bryson or we could see Scotty really go out and attack this course today. And will they shoot 62? I don't know. I can't predict that right now. But it's amazing how much you can change this tournament if you went out and shot a 64 or a 63 and you're knocking on the door of that 62. And it's not like we haven't seen guys find themselves in trouble. They're showing Scotty right now. He's in a little bit of a precarious situation on the second. But we've seen like a challenging course, but also guys who have made it look so easy.
Right. And as we know very well, and Scheffler, as you said, in a tough position behind the green, chips it to about a foot there, so good recovery. But links golf is an animal of itself. It requires a very different type of strategy, particularly when the course is playing as firm as it is this week here at Royal Birkdale. And, not everybody can necessarily handle that. And it kind of presents a unique test, year in and year out. But, And I think that's why when you look over the course of the history of this event, yes, you see some of the games, preeminent names winning it, Scotty Scheffler, Colin Morikawa, Jordan Spieth, Xander Schauffele, among the recent champions. But then, if you recall last year, this week, we spoke with Todd Hamilton, who, was a very kind of off the beaten path winner of the British Open. There have been a handful of other individuals who really didn't have much success to speak of outside of claiming this major championship. So, just given the fickle nature of the beast, if you will, it is an event that can lend itself to presenting an opportunity for somebody to kind of stake their claim and make themselves part of golf history.
Yep. 312-332-3776. You want to join us here. Let's check in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. You got us, Mike?
Yes, I do.
Great to...
Gentlemen, good morning. And it's so cool to be here from literally went right over my right shoulder is the beginning of the pond to take you over to where the Open Championship is. But yeah, coming to you from the golf capital of the world, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, for what for me is going to be one of the most meaningful weeks. We have a family reunion with 36 people coming down to celebrate my aunt and uncle's 50th wedding anniversary. So we'll be playing a lot of golf and spending a lot of time at the beach.
Awesome. Good to hear that. Good to get a little R&R right there. So what have you made of all the 62s and what we've seen? We'll get into the Bryson DeChambeau debacle in just a little bit as well. But what have you made out of what you've seen through the first 2 days and change?
Well, I think the golf course becomes the big story. Much like the rest of the world, we're suffering from extreme conditions, whether it's extreme rain, dry, heat, and they're experiencing it. We're seeing a totally different golf course or different Royal Birkdale than in most years. And as such, some of the players are taking advantage of it, and some players obviously are not. And I think, like to Casey's point earlier, this golf course plays very precise now, and there is no real margin for error, because if you make an error, especially around the greens, it's going to be so penalizing than what you might commonly find in the United States. So I think this is some really unique, creative, fun golf to watch, and I love the fact that Bryson is making Nick Faldo eat his words, at least through 36 holes of play, because I think it demonstrates there's a variety of ways to solve the puzzle, and it's not a one-size-fits-all. And I love the fact that we're seeing a variety of different types of players and the personalities, and a course that's gettable, but at the same time, it's going to make you eat your lunch. So I think it's shaping up for the best potential major finish of the year, with the final one of the year before we head into the playoffs. So I'm excited, and I'm excited for all of us to get to see early morning golf.
Yeah, it's usually we're not in studio when a lot of the leaders are teeing off or getting ready to tee off, but we are going to see Lucas Herbert tee it up for his third round here today. So, and Jackson Suber for that matter as well. All right, when we come back, we will get into what took place yesterday with Bryson DeChambeau, the penalty that was assessed to him, and some people think the RNA may have it out for Bryson. We'll discuss all that and more coming up next. This segment's been brought to you by Fox Bend Golf Course.
This is the CDGA Golf Show on ESPN 1100.3 HD2 and the ESPN Chicago app. Baseball fans, this is your new must-listen. Introducing Inside the Friendly Confines with Jesse Rogers, presented by Arlington Toyota. Twice a week, ESPN MLB insider Jesse Rogers takes you beyond the headlines and inside the game with the access only one of baseball's most connected reporters can deliver. From exclusive conversations with the biggest stars, managers, executives, and personalities across Major League Baseball, to insider stories, clubhouse insight, and the moments fans don't hear anywhere else. Jesse brings you inside the game. Whether it's breaking news, behind-the-scenes access, trade rumors, pennant races, or unforgettable baseball stories, you'll get it straight from one of the most trusted voices in the sport. Inside the Friendly Confines with Jesse Rogers. Jesse Roll. New episodes every week. Presented by Arlington Toyota. The game is happening. Jesse is inside it.
Experience top courses managed by Kemper Sports. From North Shore classics like the Glen Club, Deer Path, and Winnetka, west suburban favorites like Bolingbrook, Cantini, and Village Greens of Woodridge, and Southside gems like Harborside International. Kemper Sports offers something for everyone with impeccable course conditions and top-notch hospitality for over 45 years. Kemper Sports creates lasting memories. Did you know Kemper Sports was also recently awarded as a top places to work by Cranes Chicago? Visit KemperSports.com or follow Kemper Sports on social media.
Fox Bend Golf Course, the gem of the western suburbs. Voted a 5-star course by Chicagoland Golf Magazine. Come to Oswego Land, only 45 minutes from downtown, and play some of the most superb green complexes in the area. All skill levels are welcome to play this 6,900-yard par 72 course. Fox Bend Golf Course has hosted 3 Illinois Open championships, and this year they will host the 2026 Chicago Adaptive Open. Book a tee time today at foxbendgolfcourse.com.
Hey, Chicagoland, want to experience the best golf on the North Shore? Head over to Glenview Park Golf Club to enjoy superior golf course conditions, a challenging layout, and superior service. Conveniently located and easy to get to, Glenview Park is in the heart of Glenview. Book your tee time 24/7 at golfglenview.com or call 847-724-0250. Golfglenview.com or 847-724-0250. Experience the best.
With Republic Bank of Chicago, you don't have to scramble to keep your business growing. Our commercial lending options will move your business from tee to green every time. Republic Bank of Chicago, banking beyond expectations.
Play golf in Elgin. Check out the Golf Elgin app and book a tee time at Bowes Creek Country Club or the Highlands of Elgin. Check out the Players Club passes for weekday discounted play. Full memberships are still available for the committed player as well. Experience Bowes Creek. BowesCreekCC.com.
Chicagoland's own Tour Edge Golf has launched their all-new Exotic Series drivers. They offer explosive distance driven by industry-leading MOI, guaranteeing more accuracy and confidence off the tee. Designed with full carbon construction and pyramid face technology to achieve maximum distance, power, and forgiveness. The low-spin Exotics LS, the ultra-forgiving Exotics Max, and the speed-inducing Exotics Light drivers deliver performance above all else. 3 distinct designs, 1 uncompromising Exotic standard. Learn more about the Exotic Series at touredge.com.
Come to Cog Hill Golf and Country Club and experience truly legendary golf. Since 1927, Cog Hill has been the mecca for public golf in the Midwest. In addition to Dub's Dread, ranked the #1 course you can play in Illinois by Golf Digest, Cog Hill offers 3 other beautiful 18-hole layouts with price points for all types of golfers. Visit their state-of-the-art practice facility with top tracer technology on 42 driving range bays. Plus, they have 2 golf shops, a new club fitting room, and beautiful clubhouse and reception area. They serve great food, too. Visit coghillgolf.com. Guys, it's Yurko. After playing football for as long as I did, one thing never changed. You're always looking for that edge. Better preparation, better results. Why settle for average when you don't have to? That's why Blue Chew Gold caught my attention. Blue Chew Gold is a revolutionary 4-in-1 formula designed to work on both your body and your mind. It combines 2 proven ingredients for blood flow with apomorphine and oxytocin to help enhance arousal, desire, and connection. It's not just about being physically ready, guys. It's about feeling confident, getting mentally dialed in, getting your mind right. It dissolves under your tongue and can start working in as little as 15 minutes. Less waiting, more confidence when it matters most. Ladies, if you're listening, send your guy the link. He'll thank you later. We've got a special deal now for all our listeners. Get 10% off your first month of Blue Chew Gold with code ESPN. That's promo code ESPN. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. And we thank Blue Chew for sponsoring.
This is the CDGA Golf Show on ESPN 1100.3 HD2 and the ESPN Chicago app.
We'll be joined by Vince Pellegrino from the Western Golf Association at 10 a.m. a little bit later on. Also, Illinois State Am champ Charlie Colin will join as well at around 10:35. But we're talking Open Championship with you right now as your leader. We've got co-leaders right now. A new one emerged after our third 62 of the tournament. for Ryan Fox, who goes 8 under today. That's where the lead sits right now, 8 under. He's co-leaders with Lucas Herbert, who will be teeing off about half an hour from now. The rest of the leaderboard shakes out like this. Jackson Suber, Cameron Young, and Ryan Gerard all tied for third, 2 strokes off the lead. Sam Burns, Bryson DeChambeau, Siwoo Kim, all at 5 under, and then a big, powerful cluster currently tied for 9th right now at 4 under. Get a load of these names. Xander Schauffele, Justin Thomas, Hideki Matsuyama, Sungjae Im, Patrick Reed, Eric Cole, Rasmus Niergaard Peterson, Ludwig Oberg, who's had a nice bounce back after a little bit of a rough day one, Shane Lowry, Tommy Fleetwood, Scotty Scheffler, Francesco Molinari, Alex Fitzpatrick, Robert McIntyre, Matt Wallace, Bud Cauley, Thomas Dietrich. They're all tied at 4 under right now. And it's a powerful group. I don't think it would shock any of us if the winner of this thing came out of that bunch right there.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think this is
that's 100%.
Yeah, shaping up to be a great weekend. You mentioned a name there, Alex Fitzpatrick. We've talked about him a lot on the show. Continues to make the most of his opportunities and has himself in contention here. So, yeah, I think it's just really exciting to see a leaderboard where there are a lot of opportunities and a lot of fantastic storylines. Whether it's somebody kind of adding to their legacy, or if it's an individual kind of breaking through for the first time.
Yep. Mike, what do you make of that group tied for 10th?
Yeah, I think that the group there is so formidable. And because of the golf course, like we spoke about before the break, being the way that it is, it could even come from a group that's even 3 under, like a John Rahm. I mean, the list keeps going on. I think this is one of the best quality leaderboards going into a weekend that we've seen in some time, that equates out to still guys being in the hunt based on what the golf course is either giving up or not giving up. And then if you really kind of combine it and take a step back and look at the weekend in its totality, we could have something really special going on Sunday when you consider there are 3 Spaniards within striking distance of this thing. They're playing for the World Cup on the same day. So we were hoping it was going to be England in this position doing it with Tommy Fleetwood, but I could see a scenario where Mr. Rahm from 3 under currently storms in and takes this thing with, Spain winning with a header about the same time his putt goes in to win the darn thing. So who knows what'll happen.
Right, yeah. And John Rahm, I mean, he opened today's round with a double bogey. He was a little errant off the tee and had bounced back the very next hole with a birdie. And I think to have that, and we know how John Rahm's game can go. You can ride the Rahm roller coaster, if you will, through the course of his rounds. But for him to bounce back with the birdie, definitely a good sign, because otherwise this thing could have gone haywire. And with the amount of names that you would have to leapfrog to get into kind of the contending circle and the cloud of players that could really win this thing, I think he's right there in it because of that birdie bounce back.
Yeah, Mike, I think you make an interesting point with the World Cup tie, and no Emiliano Grillo in the field to represent Argentina, unfortunately. So I think you're right. It's Spain or nothing. No Angel Cabrera either for one reason or another. But England playing for the 3rd place match today, if nothing else. But yeah, Rahm has had an interesting tournament thus far. There was a portion of the broadcast yesterday afternoon where, we thought the rules controversy, quote unquote, was going to be surrounding him. He had an instance where, kind of threw, tossed, dropped his club after a tee shot, whatever you want to call it. And the commentators spent the next couple of holes wondering if he was going to be subjected to that same kind of code of conduct policy and penalty that we saw Joaquin Niemann get penalized by earlier this year. We saw Sergio Garcia get a kind of a formal warning under it. He didn't end up getting penalized, and then obviously everything ended up happening with Bryson. But yeah, so he's right in the thick of it. Again, just can't say enough how exciting it is to see so many of these guys putting themselves in contention here. And, again, the nature of how this all plays out from a timing perspective, we'll know by, kind of lunchtime today, I think, who's really got a shot to take home the claret jug.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting finish here too. I look at when you look at the group that's in that tied for 10th right now, that giant cluster. I mean, you've got about 13 or 14 names right there that are going to make this thing interesting, and we'll see how they fare, either going up or down, because ever since we even just listed off, we've seen a number of changes. Like Justin Thomas has fallen out of that cluster. Sung J M has fallen out of that cluster. Patrick Reed has fallen out of that cluster. And then you got a guy like Rasmus Njergaard Peterson who's actually elevated out of it. So lots of interesting things, a lot of different ways this thing can go between now and about a little over 24 hours from now. But all right, the biggest story so far of the Open Championship has been the rules controversy surrounding Bryson DeChambeau and what took place yesterday on the 5th hole. He was assessed a 2-stroke penalty. So believe it or not, he would have been in solo second entering the day. However, because of the 2-stroke penalty that was assessed for what the rules officials deemed he improved his lie after he had an errant shot go into some of the thicker stuff. But what did you guys make of, Michael, start with you. What did you make of, first of all, what your eyes told you as to whether or not Bryson was in the wrong?
Well, I'll tell you right now, first and foremost, it wasn't that he improved his lie as much as he improved his stance. And they have been sticklers about this ever since I remember as a little kid. Craig Stadler one time put a towel down so he didn't get tree sap on his knees to hit a shot under a tree and under limbs. And he found out later that that was technically improving his stance. And he was just doing it to keep his Sansa from getting dirty. And so he inadvertently did that and took the penalty. Now, what Bryson did is he walked into very high grass that was knee high, little maybe up to thigh high in spots. And when I looked at it, his second step, if you watch what he's doing, it's a calculated step. And he stepped on what I would consider is the inside path of the plane that he has to take the club back on. And then he kind of shifted over to look like he was standing directly behind it to get a gauge as to where to hit it. But if you watch, he then makes a big step with his left foot, again, hitting that spot where that club would be potentially getting tangled up by the wisps of the grass. And I think it was justified. I think it was proper. I think it was the exact call. Now, obviously, Bryson didn't feel that way in the very beginning, but I think somebody got into his ear pretty quickly to say, "You're dead to rights, son. You better just suck it up and keep going." And I think that's what he's going to do, because what else can he do?
Yeah, I mean, this kind of stuff happens to really every professional golfer at some point of their career, right? Whether it, nobody's necessarily saying that it was intentional, but the rules are so carry a fine line that, even inadvertently, there's going to be instances where, you break them and you subject yourself to a penalty. I think the true kind of read on the situation is how you react to it. And I think everybody's probably in agreement that his immediate reaction was not the best in terms of, the threat to not come back and play. He's certainly within his right to, plead his case, if you will, with the rules officials, as we saw him doing when they took him back out to the 5th hole, which was just...
I mean, it was crazy, too, because they had the tracker on USA Network. It was like, what will happen first? Will the sun go down, or will Bryson leave the golf course?
Yeah, and then, afterwards, he went to the range and, was beating balls for, an hour or so until it was almost pitch black there. So, I think that it's going to be really fascinating to see because, for all the controversy it made, for all the headlines it made, yes, he loses 2 strokes, but he's still only 3 shots back. He put himself in position to be able to withstand that penalty with the best golf we've seen him play this year. I mean, I think it bears repeating that he hasn't made the cut in a major yet this year.
Yeah, he's been very disappointing when everyone's gotten together.
Right. And I think it's just interesting that, circling back to our conversation from earlier regarding the intricacies of links golf, I don't think anybody's really ever considered him kind of a horse for the course, if you will, on some of these, European tracks. But he obviously found something this week and has been playing extremely well. So, yeah, I think it can go one of two ways. He can either use it as fuel, as motivation, to put a good round and to keep himself in contention, or obviously it could go the other way. But yeah, really just kind of fascinating theater at the end of the day yesterday, following what was already a dramatic day, given what we talked about with the 62s and kind of with the John Rahm stuff. So yeah, and it looks like he's as we watch the coverage now.
I was just going to ask you guys about the Bryson. Don't you feel, though, that sometimes this is exactly what he needs to be sort of embroiled in this thing so that he matters, so he's relevant? Because I just felt like the other majors, he just wasn't all that relevant. Liv has become less relevant, and they seem so lost. To me, it seems that these Liv guys, this is the last stage they're going to be able to sort of put their show on display, because nobody cares to watch the rest of the season, I'm sure. And then who knows what happens from here. So I find it interesting that a lot of the stars are kind of coming out to perform and play. And I actually think this is actually going to fuel Bryson in a good way. And so we'll see. But the one question I had for you, though, is given these rule changes, I found it very like hypocrisy, like why the RNA saying how they got the greatest fans in the world, but we're going to put in this penalty for fan behavior. It's unique how all this rules and whatnot's coming up, but then Bryson breaks it in a whole different way. So,
yeah, I mean, I think the rule that he broke, it's one of those that kind of symbolizes the difference between the set of rules that the professionals play by and the set of rules that we all play by when we go out and play for the weekends, right? I mean,
no one would have batted an eye.
No. So yeah, interesting there. And I think just another point to make that's interesting is he was, seemingly kind of the only person all day really that had put his ball kind of in that part of the course.
Well, it's a style of play too. He's willing to play from other fairways and stuff like that. And that's, if there's anyone that's going to find themselves in that situation, it's him, because he plays this different analytical style of golf, and he sometimes, frankly, tries to play a different golf course.
Right. So, I mean, I think, if in a moment of self-reflection, I'm sure he was probably saying to himself, well, if I just wouldn't have hit a terrible tee shot in the first place, I wouldn't have even put myself in position to be, scrutinized and have to deal with that. But, yeah, so playing with Sam Burns today,
I think Sam Burns is a good partner for him today, because I feel like Sam Burns, he's obviously having the success that he's having as of late. He hasn't won one of these majors, but he's been knocking on the door of so many at this point. So he's going to push him. And I think that Bryson kind of needs that horse that's a little in front of him, or at least has the illusion that he's not going to falter. He's not going to have these crazy stumbles. You're not going to see a bunch of doubles from Sam Burns today. I think having that guy who's going to be there to push him the way that I think Burns will is good for Bryson. If he was with one of these guys, like if he was with a Ryan Gerard today, or if he was with an Eric Cole, and like no offense to any of these guys, but if he was with one of those guys that maybe we hadn't really heard of and has just caught a heater these first 2 days and starts to fall back a little, I think that would have been bad for Bryson today.
Yeah, and obviously a guy he has some familiarity with from U.S. teams. But go ahead, Mike.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I was just going to agree because, to your point, the U.S. team. But I also look at a guy like Eric Cole to step up and play with Bryson. I mean, Eric shot 76 the first round and came back with 64. It give you just an idea of what this golf course can do to you, good and bad. So to me, Eric Cole is a big question mark. And I think that would actually hurt Bryson, because I think Eric's coming into an arena that he wouldn't be used to stepping into a pairing with him. I think, to your point, Tyler, playing with Sam Burns, they know each other from team play, the consistency. And what Bryson mentioned on Thursday, he was so impressed by Scotty's ball striking that it showed him how he is nowhere near on Scotty's level in terms of consistency. And I think Bryson's actually getting a schooling and a tutelage that I think is going to be valuable for whether it's the next 2 rounds or the next 20 rounds, because this is really the first time he's gone head-to-head with the world's number one in the way that he is. So this is going to be an interesting weekend from my perspective to watch what Bryson does.
Yeah, it's going to be a very, very interesting final couple days for Bryson DeChambeau. Again, his round officially underway as he has teed off on one.
He did show up. He
did show up, which was, all right, question one has been answered.
Yeah.
Now, question two is, will the game itself show up? And his tee shot off of one went a little wayward, but nothing that he can't recover from. All right, when we come back, you brought up Scottie Scheffler, Mike. We should talk about Scottie Scheffler and just what exactly we're expecting from him over the final two rounds here, because he is, even though he currently sits tied for 11th, he is your favorite among the odds. Should he be, though, or are we starting to lose cabin pressure on how we're pricing out Scottie Scheffler in all of these major tournaments and big-time events? We'll discuss that coming up next. This segment's been brought to you by Geneva National.
This is the CDGA Golf Show on ESPN 1100.3 HD2 and the ESPN Chicago app. A legendary summer continues on the South Side with one legendary number about to take its place in history. This week, catch all the latest baseball and Chicago sports talk on ESPN Chicago's live video stream, presented by First Bank Chicago and United Roofers Union Local 11.
In 1958, few imagined a young Joliet native and Air Force veteran like Brent Wadsworth would pioneer the nation's leader in world-class golf course construction. Wadsworth Golf Construction was founded on his vision of leading with integrity, service, and quality. With over 1,000 golf courses built or renovated, including 110 in Illinois, Wadsworth Golf has left an indelible mark. Yet, it's more than just construction. Wadsworth Philanthropy, embodied by Wadsworth Golf Charities Foundation, has donated over $12 million to nonprofits using golf to uplift children, veterans, and the underprivileged. Projects like Youth Links at Cantigny, CDGA Sunshine Course, and newly renovated Canal Shores in Evanston have benefited. Wadsworth Golf proudly supports the CDGA and looks ahead to further collaboration in enhancing the golf community. Explore their projects and foundation at wadsworthgolf.com.
Injured after hours? Don't wait. The all-new IBJI Access app gives you immediate orthopedic help wherever you are, whenever you need it. With just a few quick steps, you can chat directly with an IBJI clinician. Tell us what happened, and our clinical team will review your information and respond as soon as possible. It's fast, it's easy, and it's for new and existing patients. Download the IBJI Access app today. Just search IBJI in the App Store.
Golfers, go north to Wisconsin and experience the Club at Lac La Belle, voted a top 10 most fun golf course in the country by Golf Digest. The Club at Lac La Belle is now accepting tee times. Take advantage of same-day replay rates. The Club at Lac La Belle is at the heart of the Wisconsin Golf Trail, featuring a majestic, redesigned course and beautiful clubhouse. Schedule your tee time now at theclubatlaclabelle.com. A historic past meets a vibrant future. Go to theclubatlaclabelle.com to start your journey.
Play their gear, dress the part, and shop like the pros at the PGA Tour Superstore. Now's the time to upgrade your game with new apparel and footwear to keep you looking fresh, and the hottest clubs from all your favorite brands. Plus, dial in your game with the latest technology like rangefinders and launch monitors. Shop with the pros at any of our 5 Chicagoland locations: Downers Grove, Schaumburg, Orland Park, Vernon Hills, and Lincoln Park.
Play golf in Elgin. Check out the Golf Elgin app and book a tee time at Bowes Creek Country Club or the Highlands of Elgin. Bowes Creek Country Club offers the finest playing conditions and has tournaments open to the public. Experience Bowes Creek. BowesCreekCC.com.
Experience the best golf on the North Shore. Head over to Glenview Park Golf Club. Book your tee time 24/7 at golfglenview.com or call 847-724-0250. golfglenview.com or 847-724-0250. Experience the best.
Village Links of Glen Ellen provides a country club experience at a public golf facility in Glen Ellen. With a top-rated 27-hole complex that's proudly hosted 48 PGA Tour and USGA qualifying events, Village Links is considered one of the premier golf courses in the Chicago area, conveniently located near I-88 and 355. After your round, dine on the spectacular patio at Reserve 22 Restaurant Bar and Banquets, overlooking the pristine 18th green. Go to villagelinksgolf.com and get ready for a great round. See you at the links.
Are you looking for a future that's a home run? ETI School of Skilled Trades can help you get started in a great new welding or HVAC career fast. With a focus on hands-on learning, some of our programs can be completed in as little as 7 months. That means if you enroll now, you could be wrapping up your training before the next season rolls around. Visit eticampus.edu or call 888-830-7678 to learn more. ETI, it's your future. Own it.
Welcome into the CDGA Golf Show on ESPN 1000. Presented by Glenview Park Golf Club. Here's your hosts, Mike Gilligan and Tyler Rocky.
This segment of the CDGA Golf Show is brought to you by our friends over at Golf Elgin, home of Bowes Creek Country Club and the Highlands of Elgin. Tyler Rocky, Mike Gilligan, Casey Richards here, talking all things Open Championship today. As we just discussed the Bryson DeChambeau debacle and should he or should he not have been penalized. But one of the interesting names right now, and if you go to the odds, you will find your current favorite is still Scottie Scheffler. He was the favorite leading into this thing, and he is the favorite as it currently sits right now. So as we look at the rounds that Scottie Scheffler has had so far, nothing like out of the ordinary, but it's Scottie Scheffler. Like you always know there is this baseline that you're going to have with Scottie. So far, he's gone 2 under each day, and so far today, he is even through 4 holes. But as you look at it right now, Scottie Scheffler, and there has been a little bit of a shuffle as of late, but Scottie Scheffler about 6-1. Cameron Young actually has just tucked himself inside of that. He is plus 580 to win this thing. But as you look at Scottie Scheffler and kind of where he's priced, do you think he should be the favorite right now? I'll start with you, Mike. Where you see Scottie Scheffler's odds at? Should he be the favorite for this tournament?
At this point, yes. And I think it goes back to a lot what we chatted about, Tyler, in the fact when Scottie missed the cut, that gives pause for him to now get prepared, much like the way Jack Nicklaus used to do for majors. This was one of the first times Scottie's been able to get into a site and actually spend time preparing earlier than ever because he had missed a cut in 74 or 78 starts. So that's really bad news for the rest of the field. And we said that last week, and it's coming true. I think he's only going to play stronger into form. I think he looks more and more comfortable each day he's out there from my perspective. He looks like he's pretty well in control of his game, his emotions. He looks like he's just in a great spot. So, yeah, if you're over there and are going to put some money down, he's a great one to put down because, I mean, next to Tommy Fleetwood, I mean, he's your logical one to win, but you know, I know there's going to be the heartfelt otherwise, but from a betting person, that it's got to be he's the odds-on favorite for sure.
Yeah, I think for Scottie, it's going to come down to what it usually does for him, and that's his putting. Yesterday, lost 2 strokes to the field with the flat stick. So striking the ball very well, but was limited in terms of how he was able to roll it. Just through a few holes so far, anecdotally, just looking up at the TV, every so often hasn't really rolled one in yet today. So, and if you look at, the course of this season for him, very kind of average putting performances throughout the course of the campaign, particularly in the majors, which is why, we're looking at potentially the first time since 2023 that we haven't seen him win a major in a campaign. So, as we all know, putting can be very fickle, both good and bad. So if all of a sudden he gets hot, yeah, I can see him very easily surging to win this thing and defend his title. But, I think that's really what it's going to come down to. For the most part, what you're going to be getting from him tee to green, week in and week out, round in and round out. It's just a matter if he's getting the putts to fall or not. And as we've discussed as well, when the putts don't fall for him, he has a tendency to get a little frustrated and let it kind of snowball on itself a little bit. So, looks like he's left himself with a delicate chip here on number 5 as he's sitting at 4 under here. So.
Yeah, it's just been such a weird year. And like you said, Casey, we could be looking at our first Scotty-less major champion year since 2023. And we really haven't even seen that many wins as a whole. And it doesn't mean he's played bad golf, but I feel like he's just put himself into some of these situations where early on in these tournaments, he's just had to do so much chasing. And that's a tough place to live when you consistently are looking at needing comeback after comeback after comeback. Now, he hasn't really dug himself a hole per se through the first 2 rounds of the Open so far, but he also hasn't had like that signature round and where he like goes out, he'll go 6 under in a major and it's like, all right, Scotty came to play. Here he is. And now we bow at the altar of Scotty Scheffler because once he gets that lead, he's not surrendering that lead, Mike.
100%. And I think the back 9 today is going to mean the most and tell us the rest of the story, because I've seen him on Saturdays go somewhat flat on that front 9 and then go 6 under on the back. He's going to have to shoot a mid-60s to start really making that move. I don't think he's got to go 62-ish, but he's going to have to come back with probably a pair of 65s to be anywhere in this hunt. And depending, probably need a little help. But I think the golf course is going to do that, because I think what's going to be critical over the next 2 days is the golf course is only going to get harder, drier, faster. And everybody is going to get into what I call messiness. And it's just a question of not if, it's just when. When you either start and you push it right, or is it after you've made a few birdies and you've got to recollect yourself? And it's going to be the person who can realize that I can overcome this, or I need to get my messiness out of the way so I can now, get into my normal pace and my normal mindset, if you will. But I think over the next 36 holes, that is going to be the true tale of the story. But with Scotty, because he is so consistent, and the thing that Bryson was so impressed with that he couldn't do was be consistently in the fairway. And in this golf course, being in the fairway matters so much because the fairways are narrow. And yeah, there's penalty right and left, but there's a lot of penalty right in front of you. And the ability to be able to control your distance over the next 2 days and not get too ramped up is going to be critical. And I like Scotty's chances because he's so consistent. And I know Casey had talked about the putting, but he can actually win despite average putting. He can't putt below average, but he can almost get away with putting average. But if he putts above average, I think he'll win.
Yeah, Mike, and you mentioned the importance of hitting the fairway. I think that's magnified here as well in terms of the additional roll that you can get with how firm the course is playing. So, yeah, Scotty rolls in a birdie there on number 5 to get to 5 under. So, just 3 shots back as the leaders start to tee off here.
Yeah, we're starting to get to, and we were talking about that big cluster that was all kind of tied for 9th, and it started to disperse a little bit. Some guys have worked their way up the leaderboard. Some guys have worked their way down the leaderboard. Some of the guys that have worked their way up are guys that I think are very much contenders to win this thing, and those are Hideki Matsuyama, Tommy Fleetwood, and then just now what we saw with Scotty Scheffler. So we'll continue to update you with the leaderboard. And coming up next, though, 62 has been the number of the tournament. Have there been too many, and could there be another? Who would be your pick for the next 62? That's coming up next here. This segment's been brought to you by Golf Elgin.
This is the CDGA Golf Show on ESPN 1100.3 HD2 and the ESPN Chicago app.
When Cap and J Hood are over, the fun continues. Tell your friends and enemies. It's the Carmen and Yurko Show. Weekdays from 9 to noon on the home of the Bears. ESPN Chicago on AM, on app, on YouTube.
Presented by Advantage Dealer Group.
Come to Cog Hill Golf and Country Club and experience truly legendary golf. Since 1927, Cog Hill has been the mecca for public golf in the Midwest. In addition to Dubs Dread, ranked the #1 course you can play in Illinois by Golf Digest, Cog Hill offers 3 other beautiful 18-hole layouts with price points for all types of golfers. Visit their state-of-the-art practice facility with top tracer technology on 42 driving range bays. Plus, they have 2 golf shops, a new club fitting room, and beautiful clubhouse and reception area. They serve great food, too. Visit coghillgolf.com.
Hey, Chicagoland, it's time to tee up your next golf adventure with a trip to Tullymore Golf Resort, featuring 36 championship holes at 2 5-star rated golf courses. Spend more time on the course and less time in the car. Tullymore is just a quick 3.5-hour drive from the city. Enjoy an up-north golf experience without the drive at Tullymore Golf Resort. Experience a Michigan masterpiece. Start your trip with just a click at tullymoregolf.com. That's tullymoregolf.com.
Tour Edge Golf introduces the all-new Exotic Series drivers, built with full carbon construction and pyramid-based technology. The low-spin Exotics LS, ultra-forgiving Exotics Max, and the speed-boosting Exotics Lite deliver performance above all else. Learn more at touredge.com.
Like a good caddy, the Treasury Management team at Republic Bank of Chicago is ready to carry the load and provide the advice and solutions your business needs to succeed. Republic Bank of Chicago, banking beyond expectations.
Experience the best golf on the North Shore. Head over to Glenview Park Golf Club. Book your tee time 24/7 at golfglenview.com or call 847-724-0250. Golfglenview.com or 847-724-0250. Experience the best.
Hey, Chicago golfers, experience pure golfing enjoyment at Fox Bend Golf Course. Fox Bend Golf Course offers playing conditions and the amenities of a traditional private club, but is open to the public and just 45 minutes from downtown. Visit foxbendgolfcourse.com.
Summer is heating up as golf's future stars return to the Glen Club for the Evans Scholars Invitational, July 23rd through 26th. See who will follow in the footsteps of past champions like Scotty Scheffler and Cameron Young on their way to PGA Tour stardom. Thanks to BCU, your community credit union, admission is free. Want more access? Upgrade your experience with access to the lemonade stand presented by Mike's Hard Lemonade or Corona Cabanas. Who's next? Find out this July at the Glen Club. Visit esinvitational.com to claim your tickets and learn more. Break away to Kohler, just 2 hours north of Chicago, host of 6 majors and the Ryder Cup. Play 72 holes of championship golf at Whistling Straits and Black Wolf Run and the Baths, a 10-hole par 3. Experience the Kohler water spas and explore hundreds of acres of outdoors. 2026 and 2027 golf packages with 2 to 5 night accommodations are available to book now. Book early for best rates and availability. Call 855-718-3588 to reserve your custom stay today.
Guys at Churco, after playing football for as long as I did, one thing never changed. You're always looking for that edge. Better preparation, better results. Why settle for average when you don't have to? That's why Blue Chew Gold caught my attention. Blue Chew Gold is a revolutionary 4-in-1 formula designed to work on both your body and your mind. It combines 2 proven ingredients for blood flow with apomorphine and oxytocin to help enhance arousal, desire, and connection. It's not just about being physically ready, guys. It's about feeling confident, getting mentally dialed in, getting your mind right. It dissolves under your tongue and can start working in as little as 15 minutes. Less waiting, more confidence when it matters most. Ladies, if you're listening, send your guy the link. He'll thank you later. We've got a special deal now for all our listeners. Get 10% off your first month of Blue Chew Gold with code ESPN. That's promo code ESPN. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. And we thank Blue Chew for sponsoring.
From PGA to where you should play, this is the CDGA Golf Show with Mike Gilligan and Tyler Rocky, presented by Glenview Park Golf Club.
Your leaders are officially off and running at the Open Championship right now. Lucas Herbert and Jackson Suber, the last to tee off as they make their way through Royal Birkdale today. Your current leaderboard right now, Ryan Fox and Lucas Herbert, your co-leaders. Ryan Fox already in the clubhouse with our third 62 that we've seen so far in the Open Championship through just 3 rounds. but we've already seen 362s, and who knows, maybe we get another one as well. Siwoo Kim, Ryan Gerard, Cam Young, and Jackson Suber all tied for third right now. It's 6 under, 2 strokes off the lead. It is a powerful group. Currently tied for 7th, Hideki Matsuyama, Rasmus Niergaard Peterson, Tommy Fleetwood, Scotty Scheffler, Thomas Dietrich, Bryson DeChambeau, and Sam Burns, all at 5 under, 3 strokes off the lead. Then a good group currently sitting tied for 14th right now, including the likes of Xander Schauffele, Justin Thomas, Ludwig Oberg, Shane Lowry, John Rahm, and Sungjae Im, all at 4 under right now. I'd say that's probably the cutoff line of guys that I would think have a chance to win this thing. And again, maybe that sounds a little premature because we've seen all of these 62s, but I think you need a good day to day plus like something in the neighborhood of 63 or 64 if you're beyond that, if you're going to really overtake some of the guys at the top right now. And I just don't know if there's maybe enough time left in some of the rounds for some of the guys that are beyond that at this point.
Yeah, I would agree with you, Tyler. There gets to be a point where you just can't keep pace because the pace is going to be rather aggressive versus most major championships, especially the Open when we've considered course conditions. But again, because of that ability to go extremely low, I think also gives it a certain different flair and excitement to it. So I could easily see a guy like Siwoo Kim, for example, lighten it up today. Or a guy that, fresh out of college, the guy's on a heater, and these kids know how to go low, Jackson Suber. I mean, it would not surprise me to see a young guy really not even understand the magnitude of the situation and get into a zone and just pretend he's back playing junior golf and let it go. That's why I think the British, I call it the British, but the Open Championship gives us such a flavor of international, new names, the common names. But this is going to be an exciting finish tomorrow for sure.
Tyler, you mentioned kind of going to the break and at the outset, the 62s and whether it's a good thing that we're getting so many of them. And it's really interesting when you look at the list of individuals who have accomplished that recently. It's all, a relatively modern accomplishment. Brandon Grace was kind of the first one to do it, ironically, at Royal Birkdale in 2017, which I think, again, just hammers home the gettability of this course, if you will, when the conditions are right. And went back and looked, that was the Open that Jordan Spieth won, and he finished at 12 under for the event. So it certainly displayed, good scoring conditions in the past. There were 2 in 2023 U.S. Open at LACC, 2 in 2024 at Valhalla for the PGA Championship. Xander Schauffele actually with 1 at each of those locales, and then the 3 here thus far. So yeah, definitely, I think a byproduct of just the elite skill level present in today's game, the technological advancements made in today's game, allowing the scoring to have. And, really, I kind of always say these guys are so good by and large. They have such good equipment that really the only thing that can deter them, not even necessarily course setup, it's conditions, it's wind, it's weather. And, when you don't have that, you're going to see scores like we've seen here so far this weekend. Yeah,
it's been a crazy, crazy weekend so far. All right, coming up next, we will talk with our friend Vince Pellegrino of the Western Golf Association to talk about the Evans Scholar Invitational, as well as the Western Am that's also right around the corner as well. That's coming up next. The segment's been brought to you by Tour Edge.
More golf ahead. The CDGA Golf Show on ESPN 1000, presented by Glenview Park Golf Club.
Play golf in Elgin. Check out the Golf Elgin app and book a tee time at Bowes Creek Country Club or the Highlands of Elgin. Your outing could not be better than at the Highlands of Elgin. The Grumpy Goat Tavern is a great place to finish your golf get-together as well. Check them out at highlandsofelgin.com or grumpygoattavern.net.
Need a mulligan in your current banking relationship? Tee it high and let it fly with Republic Bank of Chicago's business banking solutions. Driving Chicago business for more than 60 years. Republic Bank of Chicago, banking beyond expectations.
Golf with the Legends at Destination Geneva National in Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. Enjoy 54 holes designed by Arnold Palmer, Gary Player, and Lee Trevino. Stay right on the course in luxurious suites, group cottages, or the newly renovated and reimagined Lakeview rooms at the Lodge. Between rounds, savor on-site dining at the Hunt Club Steakhouse, Crafted Italia, and Turf Kitchen and Tap. Or unwind at Paloma Cantina, overlooking the dance floor, the entertainment-style putting course. Visit DestinationGN.com for details on Wisconsin's closest multi-course golf resort to the greater Chicagoland area.
Hey, it's your buddy Tom Waddle, and I drive a Hawk. The 250th anniversary sale is going on all month long at hawkauto.com. Save big with 0% financing for 60 months, plus no payments for 90 days. Check out their giant inventory with over 2,000 vehicles in stock. Choose from 13 big brands at 12 convenient locations, and nobody will pay you more for your trade. The 250th anniversary sale is going on now at hawkauto.com. Drive what I drive. Drive a Hawk. 1667 per month per thousand. Finance on select models with credit.
hawkauto.com. It's Gabriel Fluffy Iglesias Live.
When it comes to the department of cuddling, this is what I want. I prefer a big girl. I want a big girl. Oh yeah, this way we both can agree on the temperature of the thermostat.
Saturday, August 1st, the venue at Horseshoe Casino. Get tickets at the Horseshoe Casino, all Ticketmaster outlets, and Ticketmaster.com. Don't miss Gabriel Fluffy Iglesias Live. Play smart. Must be 21 or older to gamble or attend events.
This is ESPN Chicago. WMVP, WTBC, HD2 Chicago. A Good Karma Brands radio station.
Golf is on your mind and on the air. Right now, this is the CDGA Golf Show on ESPN 1000, 100.3 HD2, and the ESPN Chicago app. Presented by Glenview Park Golf Club.
This is the CDGA Golf Show on ESPN Chicago. This segment brought to you by Tullamore Golf Resort, up North Michigan golf without the drive. Tyler Rocky, Mike Gilligan, Casey Richards with you on this Saturday of the Open Championship. And let's head on out now to the Jersey Mike's hotline, Jersey Mike's a sub above, where we find Vince Pellegrino from the Western Golf Association. So much to get to with Vince today, as with the Evan Scholar Invitational, the Western Am right around the corner as well. But Vince, always a pleasure to have you on the show. How are you?
I'm doing great. Yeah, thanks for having me on. Appreciate it.
Hey, Vince, with all the events that, Tyler mentioned, in addition to the BMW Championship, how do you keep each event distinct in its messaging while still making people understand that they all connect to the same mission of the Western Golf Association?
We're halfway through our championship season right now, with having played the Women's Western Amateur just last week at River Forest, and we had our Western Junior at the Knollwood Club, and the Women's Western Junior at Meridian Hills, and now we're on to the big three: the Western Amateur, the Evan Scholars Invitational, and then ultimately the BMW Championship. But it's an organization that's built behind championships for scholarships. So I mean, they're all tied together in the one mission of raising awareness and funds for the Evan Scholars Foundation. But you're right, they all have their distinct history, to the championship. So, for instance, the Western Amateur that's coming up in a couple weeks just has an incredible history of producing some of the world's best talent. Not to jump in too quick, but going back to Beverly, where we've had just some incredible success, and obviously that's a gem of a golf course, the Donald Ross course here in Chicago. But last time we were there, our Sweet 16 had guys like Scotty Scheffler, Xander Schauffele, and Bryson DeChambeau, as part of it. And not to mention, yeah, I mean, it's incredible. Not to mention Lucas Herbert, who obviously is leading, the British Open today. So it produces great stars, and the championships really stand alone because they ultimately kind of ladder up to our flagship event, the BMW Championship.
Hey, Vince, Casey here, and appreciate the segue into talking about the July issue of Chicago District Golfer. CDGA members should have received it by this point. And the cover story is kind of a retrospective on that last Western Am at Beverly about 12 years ago. And again, some of the names you mentioned, Bo Hostler defeating Xander Schauffele in the championship match. And then, yes, Scotty Scheffler, Brian Campbell, Nick Hardy, Lucas Herbert, Bryson DeChambeau among those to make this Sweet 16. Building off your comments of the event and how it's considered really one of the most prestigious events in amateur golf and one of the most grueling as well. Can you speak to the unique elements of kind of the format and how the event will play out over the course of the week at Beverly?
Yeah, no, that's good. And I think that's the reason you named a few other guys that I didn't mention that were part of that Sweet 16. And I think that's why every single year we get a Sweet 16 that has the future stars on the PGA Tour, because it is such a grueling test. They start out Monday of championship week with a practice round, and then it's 36 holes of stroke play in order to cut to 44 in ties. Then they play 36 holes on Thursday. So they're going to play 4 rounds of stroke play to make that Sweet 16. So, as you guys know, over the course of 4 rounds of stroke play at a golf course like the Bev, the cream is going to rise to the top. And then after that, if you win 4 matches, then you're obviously the champion. So that's a lot of golf. That's 8 rounds of golf, within 5 days or so, plus practice rounds, or even if you play in the contestant amateur on the Sunday before. So it's a ton of golf. It's a grind the entire week, but it produces some of the best champions, that any of our championships have.
Vince Pellegrino with us here from the Western Golf Association on the CDGA Golf Show, as always with you on the Jersey Mike's hotline. So Vince, for you and the rest of the people at the Western Golf Association, what is the most rewarding part of this time of year when you've got all of these events? And like you said, you may be watching some of the stars of tomorrow before your very eyes. Like we've brought up Scotty. Obviously, the Tiger's got a major history with the Western Am and everything like that. What's the most rewarding part for you and everyone else as you start to see the next generation of golf?
Yeah, I think the most rewarding part at the end of the day with all the championships, whether it's the Western Amateur or the Evan Scholars Invitational at the Glen Club, this week, leading up to the BMW Championship, is that it all benefits the Evan Scholars Foundation. And obviously, that's near and dear to my heart, being a Scholar alum myself, having attended Indiana University, got the scholarship through Riverside Golf Club. Obviously, a life-changing opportunity. But when you have years of planning for whether it's the Western Amateur, because that championship rotates around the different golf courses, or the BMW Championship that takes 3-4 years to plan. We're at Belle Reef Country Club this year. I think the most rewarding is seeing the fruits of all of our labor and what it does to produce awareness for the scholarship and ultimately funds for the scholarship, and be able to send kids to school on full tuition and housing scholarships, means a lot to me personally. We've got about 1,260 kids in school. We're going to award 380 scholarships this fall to 28 different universities. So, it's rewarding from a professional perspective that you've put in a ton of work. You've got a champion. Everything went off great. Everything was successful. But, the true reward is what we produce for the scholarship at the end of the day.
And Vince, you mentioned the amount of lives that you're changing. And, at the CDGA, that's what we like to say. We change lives through golf. And the WGA is no different. I mean, it's caddies to college. It's such a simple and amazing message. And the work that you've done has been absolutely tremendous. And to honor it in a way now with the Corn Ferry event at the club, what makes the Evan Scholar Invitational different from a typical amateur event or a Corn Ferry event? Why is this one just a little bit at a higher, different level? Because again, I think it was mentioned earlier, we're going to see tomorrow's stars today, because let's face it, Scotty Scheffler's a past champion.
Yeah, that's a good point. We've had Scotty play and win, Cameron Young, Harry Hall, Johnny Kiefer. The field this year for the Evan Scholars Invitational is very strong as well. The top 20 from that event will get their PGA Tour cards for next year. So you're going to see guys like Harry Higgs out there and Chesson Hadley. So some of the guys who have been out there, trying to battle to keep their tour card, along with up-and-comers. A guy like Jay Summey, who won our Western Amateur last year, will be there, and Tommy Morrison and Ian Gilligan, who was also a Western Amateur champion, trying to fight to get their PGA Tour card. This is the first year of the Evan Scholars Invitational, that name. And, we had NV5 as a title sponsor for a long time. And, we could have gone out and signed another title sponsor, but we felt so strongly that the Evan Scholar name, having it on, a PGA Tour scheduled event, and continuing to promote the scholarship was important enough for us to carry that forward. So, we've reached out to a lot of our supporters to become ambassadors, to be corporate partners to help support that mission of keeping the name of the Evan Scholars Invitational alive and well. So, the proceeds not only benefit the Evan Scholars Foundation, but it's in the title of the tournament, and it is a special event on the Korn Ferry Tour. These guys are battling. This is the high point of the year where all these points, really matter in order to retain their tour card for next year.
Vince, I know one of the appeals of coming out to watch an event like the Evan Scholars Invitational is what we've discussed in terms of seeing golf's future stars, but another aspect of it is that it's free. Thanks to a sponsorship I know you guys have, admission is free to the event at the Glen Club this coming weekend. I know there are an array of other, kind of on and off course activities that will be going on for, people of all ages. So can you just speak to the overall breadth of the spectator experience at the Glen Club this coming weekend? Yeah, for sure. And I'm glad you brought that up. We complimentary admission, thanks to our friends at BCU, which is a community credit union. All we ask is you go to our website and sign up to secure your tickets. They're complimentary, but you just got to go to the website to get that done. We've got a bunch of different other opportunities, too. We've got what's called the Lemonade Stand presented by Mike's Hard Lemonade. So it's an upgraded ticket venue that's located at the 18th green. So it's a great spot to watch golf, par 5 at the Glen Club. A lot of guys are going for that green and 2. Super fun. But, we got a junior clinic that starts the week on Monday. That's open to all kids, under 16. It's at 4:30. But we also have a family fun day. And our tournament director, Chris Montagano, has done an amazing job of trying to, make it fun for kids of all ages. We've got a kids zone that's going to include some yard games and arts and crafts and putting greens and a bunch of more stuff on that Thursday. So, we encourage folks to come out. Bring the family on that Thursday to enjoy a nice, fun day. Another thing that's kind of new this year, which, if you're into yoga, I know you guys are, we're going to have a yoga on the green on Saturday morning, July 25th. So, that's on our website as well. So, come on out and those are just a few things that we have at the championship. But obviously, as we mentioned, you're going to see the future stars of the game at the Evan Scholars Invitational this week.
Vince and Vince Pellegrino from the Western Golf Association with us here on the CDGA Golf Show. Vince, you the golf fan, all right? And all of these events are so fun, but I always think golf is interesting because the spectator experience is different than any other event because everyone kind of has their own strategy. There's not a strategy to going and watching a baseball game. There's not a strategy to going and watching basketball, hockey, football. But golf is different. Golf, you can follow a certain player. You can post up at a certain hole. You can try to find the area that has the most intersection of the golf course. How does Vince Pellegrino, the golf fan, like to go and attend these events?
Yeah, you know what? I think my best recommendation is to find a player that you'd really like to walk 18 holes with. And I would probably, this time of year, given, the weather, although it's supposed to be cool down a little bit next week, is to, pick somebody maybe in the morning and follow them for 18 holes. The Glen Club is a nice walk. It's not too challenging to get around the property. And you can get, pretty up close and personal to watch these guys play 18 holes. So I'd pick a player or a group that you've got some interest in, follow them for 18 holes. kind of get your way back to the clubhouse, have some lunch, and then, kind of camp out. I would say either on 17, which is a great par 3, hillside on the right-hand side is a nice spot. There's a tree over there, some good shade just to watch some golf. Or, right behind the 18th green, like I mentioned earlier, we've got spectator seating there. We've got a couple upgraded tickets, the lemonade stand. So I'd probably camp out on 18 and just watch the groups come in after that. So that would be my strategy, coming out to the Glen Club this week.
And then, Vince, after that event's over, you then have the BMW Championship to then focus on. I guess my question to you is, how would you describe in one word this time of the season for the WGA? This is the peak time of your year. How do you keep all this straight?
We have a really good staff, and we've got a lot of professionals, folks who have been doing this for a long time. And really, it takes a big team to manage all this. We've got folks working on the Western Amateur full time. Obviously, we mentioned Chris working on the Evan Scholars Invitational. Our focus is in large part on the BMW Championship, and I've made several trips down to St. Louis. We've got a staff on site there. So, yeah, it's there's a lot going on, but we're kind of used to it by now. I've been with Western Golf Association for a while now, and we love the idea of rotating these championships around. Especially the BMW Championship, to go to iconic venues like Belle Reef Country Club, which is just going to be spectacular. And by the way, St. Louis is not that far for our Chicago golf friends to travel down and catch the BMW Championship in mid-August here, coming up in less than 30 days. So it's busy, but again, it's fun. It's fun and it's hard work. But again, we talked about the rewards and the payoff with again, it's a great time of year. But yeah, we're staying busy, that's for sure.
Vince, one of the things I think the WGA does well with these upcoming events in terms of the ESI and the Western AM is providing opportunities for, local competitors to kind of make their mark. Speaking of the ESI in particular, I know Nick Hardy finished runner-up a few years back. I believe it was last year. Charlie Nikitas kind of had his run, had the hole-in-one, had some great representation out there playing in his hometown. What sort of local players can we be on the lookout for, either at the ESI or at the Western Am in a couple weeks?
Yeah, Patrick Adler from the North Shore has received an exemption into the Evan Scholars Invitational. So, no, Patrick's going to bring up a pretty big crowd with him. But, we like to, obviously Nick was a mainstay. Vince India played a ton at the Glen Club, and so we've had some locals play, but I think Patrick will kind of carry the torch, this year. And then, ultimately at the Western Amateur, we've got a qualifier down at Flossmoor for the championship. So that field will start to develop, and we'll see some of the local stars, here make that field just in a week's time.
For those unfamiliar, just quickly, Patrick Adler Monday qualified for the John Deere Classic a couple weeks ago, and they had a nice feature on him and his family, and the fact that they have a band together and things like that. So yeah, he'll be fun to watch playing in his hometown area there, Vince.
Exactly. Yeah, we're looking forward to that.
Vince, thanks so much for the time as always. Always appreciate having you on the show, and look forward to chatting sometime in the future, maybe close to the BMW Championship.
Yeah, sounds good, guys, and enjoy the Open today. It looks like it's tightening up. So thanks for having me on, and look forward to seeing everybody out at the Glen Club.
Yep, absolutely. Vince Pellegrino from the Western Golf Association with us here on the Jersey Mike's Hotline. Jersey Mike's, a sub above. All right, when we come back, we'll continue to update you on what's taking place at the Open Championship. And like we just heard Vince allude to, it is tightening up a little bit. So we'll give you the latest on the leaderboard and who could hunt down the leaders right now. That's all coming up next. This segment's been brought to you by Tour Edge.
This is the CDGA Golf Show on ESPN 1100.3 HD2 and the ESPN Chicago app. Sometimes the conversation can get away from the team on ESPN Chicago's Cap and J Hood Show. Fortunately, there's always room for a sidebar.
Just a quick sidebar, may I approach?
Sidebars on the Cap and J Hood Show are presented by Hankin Law.
Village Links of Glen Ellen provides a country club experience at a public golf facility in Glen Ellen. With a top-rated 27-hole complex that's proudly hosted 48 PGA Tour and USGA qualifying events, Village Links is considered one of the premier golf courses in the Chicago area, conveniently located near I-88 and 355. After your round, dine on the spectacular patio at Reserve 22 Restaurant Bar and Banquets, overlooking the pristine 18th green. Go to villagelinksgolf.com and get ready for a great round. See you at the links.
Fox Bend Golf Course, the gem of the western suburbs. Voted a 5-star course by Chicagoland Golf Magazine. Come to Oswego Land, only 45 minutes from downtown, and play some of the most superb green complexes in the area. All skill levels are welcome to play this 6,900-yard par 72 course. Fox Bend Golf Course has hosted 3 Illinois Open championships, and this year they will host the 2026 Chicago Adaptive Open. Book a tee time today at foxbendgolfcourse.com.
Hey, Chicagoland, want to experience the best golf on the North Shore? Head over to Glenview Park Golf Club to enjoy superior golf course conditions, a challenging layout, and superior service. Conveniently located and easy to get to, Glenview Park is in the heart of Glenview. Book your tee time 24/7 at golfglenview.com or call 847-724-0250. Golfglenview.com or 847-724-0250. Experience the best.
Make the move to Republic Bank of Chicago. Avoid the hazards of subpar banking with our business checking accounts, each uniquely designed to get your business up and down. Republic Bank of Chicago. Banking beyond expectations.
Play golf in Elgin. Check out the Golf Elgin app and book a tee time at the Highlands of Elgin or Bowes Creek Country Club. Enjoy exceptional playing conditions and afterward, perhaps a savory pork chop at the Grumpy Goat Tavern. A great place to continue your day of play. Check us out at highlandsofelgin.com or grumpygoattavern.net.
Chicagoland's own Tour Edge Golf introduces the all-new Exotics Iron lineup. Precision built for every player type and every scoring situation. The Exotics MB is a true muscleback, delivering ultimate shot control and a pure forged feel preferred by elite ball strikers. The Exotics CB blends a classic forged feel with modern forgiveness and consistent distance control. The Exotics Max delivers explosive distance with high MOI stability and effortless launch. 3 distinct iron designs, delivering performance above all else. Learn more about the new Exotics series at touredge.com.
Experience top courses managed by Kemper Sports. From North Shore classics like the Glen Club, Deer Path, and Winnetka, west suburban favorites like Bolingbrook, Cantini, and Village Greens of Woodridge, and Southside gems like Harborside International. Kemper Sports offers something for everyone with impeccable course conditions and top-notch hospitality for over 45 years. Kemper Sports creates lasting memories. Did you know Kemper Sports was also recently awarded as a top places to work by Cranes Chicago? Visit kempersports.com or follow Kemper Sports on social media.
Guys at Jerko, after playing football for as long as I did, one thing never changed. You're always looking for that edge. Better preparation, better results. Why settle for average when you don't have to? That's why Blue Chew Gold caught my attention. Blue Chew Gold is a revolutionary 4-in-1 formula designed to work on both your body and your mind. It combines 2 proven ingredients for blood flow with apomorphine and oxytocin to help enhance arousal, desire, and connection. It's not just about being physically ready, guys. It's about feeling confident, getting mentally dialed in, getting your mind right. It dissolves under your tongue and can start working in as little as 15 minutes. Less waiting, more confidence when it matters most. Ladies, if you're listening, send your guy the link. He'll thank you later. We've got a special deal now for all our listeners. Get 10% off your first month of Blue Chew Gold with code ESPN. That's promo code ESPN. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. And we thank Blue Chew for sponsoring.
How's your golf game? Yeah, mine too, but more on that later. It's time for more golf talk on the CDGA Golf Show, your guide to golf around the world and in your neighborhood. The CDGA Golf Show on ESPN 1000. Now here are your hosts, Mike Gilligan and Tyler Rocky.
This segment brought to you by Republic Bank. Tyler Rocky, Mike Gilligan, Casey Richards with you on this Saturday of the Open Championship out at Royal Birkdale. Everyone on the course and rolling at this point. And we have no shakeup really at the top. I guess from overnight we technically do. Ryan Fox has elevated himself 51 spots all the way to a co-lead with Lucas Herbert. Herbert even through 2, but Ryan Fox, the story of the day so far, he is your third 62 of the tournament as he goes 8 under, and that's where he sits for the tournament as a whole. Lucas Herbert, who I mentioned, is also 8 under through 2. And then we're starting to see people elevate out of the pack of guys that are tied for 5th, 8th, 10th. Sam Burns with a couple of birdies so far. He's 2 under through 4. He is 1 stroke off the lead and hunting right now. Jackson Suber, a super impressive approach shot on 2. He birdied that one and after he stuck it to about 2 feet. But he is also at 7 under, tied for 3rd with Sam Burns. Then you've got Tommy Fleetwood, who's 2 under through 8 today. Him and Siwoo Kim and Cameron Young all at 6 under for the tournament. And then tied for 8th, you've got Scotty Scheffler and Ryan Gerard at 5 under apiece. Tied for 10th right now is a pretty impressive cluster here of 10 guys, including Xander Schauffele, Hideki Matsuyama, Ludwig Oberg, Shane Lowry, Robert McIntyre, Thomas Dietrich, and Bryson DeChambeau. Now, it is worth noting Bryson DeChambeau did fall back a spot after he bogeyed earlier today. But Bryson, obviously the big story of yesterday, maybe not for the right reasons, but he was assessed a 2-stroke penalty for improving his stance and lie. So he was in solo second for the tournament and then opened the day instead in a tie for 5th and has dropped all the way back to 10 in a tie for 10th right now as he is 4 strokes off the lead, but still plenty of time for him to work his way back into this thing, Mike.
Yeah, no doubt. And what I also like is the hometown boy is starting to percolate, as they say over
yes, he is.
On Tommy Fleetwood, here he comes. Oh, I want him so bad to be in the final group tomorrow. I think it would just be epic.
Yeah, I mean, looking at some of these scores so far, it is early, but when you examine the 62s that have been put up so far, Ryan Fox today, he went out in 29, so he did a bulk of the damage on the front 9. Lucas Herbert yesterday went out in 28, so it seems like if you want to go really, really low, you have to make a lot of headway on the front 9. And, really to your point, we've seen birdies here and there, but it's consisted of more, steady play. I guess Sam Burns is really kind of the one guy, 2 under through 4 holes that, obviously continuing his strong form as of yesterday. But, I kind of expected, even though it being early, maybe a little more fireworks up at this point of the round so far. Especially after seeing what Ryan Fox did earlier, but that could just be a true, standout performance. And, maybe he will find himself, in one of those last couple of groups. Maybe that -8 will hold up, relatively speaking. We'll see.
If you guys had to pick right now, who do you guys think will be our final pairing for tomorrow? Because in all likelihood, it's not going to include Ryan Fox. He obviously just doesn't have any time left today to make up any strokes, and especially with the way that it feels like every day, guys, especially among the top, are going low, and I'd imagine you'll see a number of guys past Ryan Fox between now and the end of the rounds today. But if you had to pick who we'll see in the final pairing, who do you guys have?
I think it's going to be Tommy Fleetwood and Siwoo Kim.
Interesting.
Siwoo can go low.
Who do you like, Casey?
I like it. I mean, I've got my eye on Sam Burns. I mean, I know that's just one guy, but again, off to a good start today, coming off a sizzling round yesterday. 2 top 10s in majors so far this year already, including obviously that, narrow miss at Shinnecock at the U.S. Open. So he seems to be in a really good spot with his game. So I like him. And then I'll piggyback off Mike and also go, Tommy Fleetwood. I think that would be great dynamics. And as we've talked about in the past, we kind of like when we get that, Ryder Cup dynamic as well, when you have a European playing alongside an American. The tables turned here. We've seen so many instances this season where Think of Harbor Town, where it was, Scotty and Matt Fitzpatrick, the American kind of had the home course advantage. This would obviously be very flipped in that situation. So I guess that's what I'm pulling for, a Sam Burns and a Tommy Fleetwood-esque pairing where, it's got kind of a Ryder Cup flavor to it on British soil there.
I've been thoroughly impressed from the week that I've seen from Jackson Suber, and even in some of his misses, they're just near misses. So I'm actually going to go with Justin Suber in a final group with Sam Burns, but I do think Tommy Fleetwood will be knocking on the door of those two guys as well. So wouldn't be shocked to see Tommy there. And Tommy is the guy that I'm going to be pulling for to win this thing. But I've been super impressed by what I've seen from Jackson Suber. And I mean, Casey and I were talking about it a little before we went on the air too, Mike, but like Sam Burns in the next year, I'd be shocked if he doesn't have a major under his belt finally, because he's just been so close time and time again, and just feels like he's looking for that one opportunity to break through. And this looks like as good a chance as he's ever going to have.
Couldn't agree with you more. In fact, he's too good a putter and a player not to win. And I could easily see a Sam Burns, Tommy Fleetwood twosome as well at the end of the day, kind of Ryder Cup-esque like. And, the experts are also pointing to that's the reason for these new rules as far as spectator behavior. I think they're anticipating that. And when you get those soccer fans kind of converging on Ryder Cup, it could get pretty gnarly and nasty over there, but I would love to see it. I think Sam Burns would be a tough guy for Tommy to slay, but if he did it, he would earn every inch of that victory, and it would be epic. And no matter who won out of that pairing, they will have earned it and deservedly be called champion golfer of the year.
Yeah. For whatever it's worth, we just saw a bogey from Lucas Herbert on 3. So all of a sudden, Ryan Fox now in sole possession of the lead with 3 others behind by a stroke in Burns, Suber, and Herbert. So, get a picture of that scoreboard, Ryan, while you can.
Hope he got one yesterday. Solo lead.
Yeah, and we'll see where it goes from there. But yeah.
Come on, he's part of the Rippers.
Exactly. All right, when we come back, we will be joined by Illinois State Am champ Charlie Colwyn. He'll take us through his absolute whirlwind of a win at the State Am Championship that took place down at Crestwick Country Club in Bloomington. That's coming up next here on the CDGA Golf Show. This segment brought to you by Republic Bank.
This is the CDGA Golf Show, presented by Glenview Park Golf Club, ESPN 1000, 100.3 HD2, and the ESPN Chicago app. Baseball's biggest stories deserve baseball's best insiders. Introducing Inside the Friendly Confines with Jesse Rogers, presented by Arlington Toyota. Twice a week, ESPN's Jesse Rogers takes you beyond the headlines with unmatched access, candid conversations, and some of the biggest names in the game. From breaking news and insider insight to unforgettable stories from around Major League Baseball, this is the podcast fans can't miss. Inside the Friendly Confines with Jesse Rogers. New episodes twice a week, presented by Arlington Toyota.
Elevate your game and help open the game to others. With a CDGA membership, you become better through golf. As a member, you'll receive an official USGA handicap index to validate your game, plus exclusive member perks, special competitions, unforgettable excursions, and insider communications. Your membership can quickly pay for itself. Memberships fuel CDGA's Sunshine programs, expanding access to the game and ensuring it thrives for generations to come. Learn more about membership at cdga.org.
Check out the new clubhouse at Wing Park Golf Course in Elgin. Brand new this summer with new Chip Shots Whiskey Bar ready to serve food and drink. It is a great place to eat, play, and repeat. Check it out at wingparkgolf.com.
Experience the best golf on the North Shore. Head over to Glenview Park Golf Club. Book your tee time 24/7 at golfglenview.com or call 847-724-0250. golfglenview.com or 847-724-0250. Experience the best.
Come to Cog Hill Golf and Country Club and experience truly legendary golf. Since 1927, Cog Hill has been the mecca for public golf in the Midwest. In addition to Dub's Dread, ranked the #1 course you can play in Illinois by Golf Digest, Cog Hill offers 3 other beautiful 18-hole layouts with price points for all types of golfers. Visit their state-of-the-art practice facility with top tracer technology on 42 driving range bays. Plus, they have 2 golf shops, a new club fitting room, and beautiful clubhouse and reception area. They serve great food, too. Visit coghillgolf.com.
Play their gear, dress the part, and shop like the pros at the PGA Tour Superstore. Now's the time to upgrade your game with new apparel and footwear to keep you looking fresh, and the hottest clubs from all your favorite brands. Plus, dial in your game with the latest technology like rangefinders and launch monitors. Shop with the pros at any of our 5 Chicagoland locations: Downers Grove, Schaumburg, Orland Park, Vernon Hills, and Lincoln Park.
Golfers, go north to Wisconsin and experience the Club at Lac La Belle, voted a top 10 most fun golf course in the country by Golf Digest. The Club at Lac La Belle is now accepting tee times. Take advantage of same-day replay rates. The Club at Lac La Belle is at the heart of the Wisconsin Golf Trail, featuring a majestic, redesigned course and beautiful clubhouse. Schedule your tee time now at theclubatlaclabelle.com. A historic past meets a vibrant future. Go to theclubatlaclabelle.com to start your journey.
When pain holds you back, you deserve expert care you can trust. At Illinois Bone and Joint Institute, our orthopedic specialists help people get back to moving comfortably. Whether you're dealing with joint pain, a sports injury, or an everyday ache that just won't go away. From diagnosis and treatment to physical therapy and recovery, IBJI offers comprehensive orthopedic care all under one roof and close to home. Visit IBJI.com for more information.
Hey, it's your buddy Tom Waddle, and I drive a Hawk. The 250th anniversary sale is going on all month long at HawkAuto.com. Save big with 0% financing for 60 months, plus no payments for 90 days. Check out their giant inventory with over 2,000 vehicles in stock. Choose from 13 big brands at 12 convenient locations, and nobody will pay you more for your trade. The 250th anniversary sale is going on now at HawkAuto.com. Drive what I drive. Drive a Hawk. $16.67 per month per thousand finance on select models with credit.
HawkAuto.com. Save big on everything for your next project when you shop at Menards. Give your walls a fresh, updated look with Pittsburgh's Ultra Interior Paint. It's a paint and primer in one that provides a durable, washable finish. Choose from thousands of color options to customize your living space. View our entire selection of paint products today on Menards.com. Plus, check out the weekly flyer to view all of our great deals happening this week.
Save big money at Menards.
Welcome into the CDGA Golf Show on ESPN 1000. Presented by Glenview Park Golf Club. Here's your hosts, Mike Gilligan and Tyler Rocky.
This segment brought to you by Cog Hill Golf and Country Club, a pure golf experience. It is the CDGA Golf Show every single Saturday morning, 9 to 11 a.m. right here on ESPN Chicago. Let's head on out now to the Jersey Mike's hotline. Jersey Mike's a sub above. You can see him with us here on our YouTube stream as well, youtube.com/@ESPN1000 Chicago. It is the winner of the 95th Illinois State Am, Charlie Colwyn, joining us on the CDGA Golf Show. Good morning, Charlie. Thanks so much for taking some time with us today.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, Charlie, Casey here. Good to chat with you again. For those in the audience who may be unfamiliar, the way the event works is that there's 18-hole rounds on Tuesday and Wednesday, and then those who make the cut play 36 holes to crown a champion on the final day on Thursday. So after those first 2 days, Charlie, you were 6 strokes back, had a lot of ground to make up, but you did that and more. Kind of take us through your eventful final day and how you were able to emerge victorious down at Crestwick.
We talked about it 2 days ago, but I was 11 holes in and had some issues with my stomach. I woke up with a bad stomach to start the morning, so it was an eventful way to start the 36, and it was just so hot out there, so I just kept going, and it ended up working out for me. But I ended up shooting 68, 69, and somehow got away with the win, so it was really cool.
So, Charlie, you're with that old athlete like Michael Jordan, get down a little bit but that brings out that fire in you. Your life now has changed quite a bit by this amazing victory. You're going to be heading now to the U.S. Amateur visa this win and the exemption. How has that changed your life? And now, how are you going to take this experience out to Olympic with you?
So I played in the U.S. Junior. I think it was 4.5, 5 years ago, right before I got to college, and I always look back on it, and there's so many things I really wish I did differently. There's so many things I wish I did to prepare differently. So to get another shot at a USGA event, it's going to be
Charlie
really
Cole.
cool. And I feel like my game's a more difficult tournament, but I feel like my game's gotten to a point where I can compete now at that stage. So I really think I have a lot more belief in myself to be able to make the cut and maybe make a run in the match play portion. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Charlie Colwyn, the winner of the 95th Illinois State Am with us, is our guest here on the CDGA Golf Show. So you overcame a 6-stroke deficit to come away victorious in this. And again, it is a grueling event, kind of how Casey lined it up. But when you're down, and especially when you're chasing as many strokes as you were, what's the mindset of being a hunter when you've got that much ground to make up?
Actually, I can give a shout out to another guy who plays in the CDGA events. His name is Brian Davis, and he's a mid-am and he has professional golf experience. And I had a lot of fun playing with him last year at the State Am, and we were kind of both chasing because we were some shots back, and he just told me, like, in the final round, he was like, man, never give up, because leaders, when they get in the lead, they start looking less at targets and they start looking more at the danger around those targets. And that's actually something that stuck with me in this tournament. But I also just really thought about the practice round with my teammates at Loyola, and we were just doing a fun money match. And I thought about that, like, if you strip away the setup and the prestige of the tournament, you got strictly golf course. And I feel like anyone in that field could have taken it under par if they focused strictly golf course. And so that was my mindset, just focus on the golf course and know that sometimes it's good to play from behind. Sometimes it's a lot easier.
Charlie, you come from a little bit of a different background than a lot of the high-level amateur players. You grow up in Chicago, attended high school at Jones College Prep, played, in the Chicago Public League, didn't belong to a country club. In fact, your dad, your mom, neither of them golfers. Can you just shed some light on how you think that's impacted your journey to this point?
I really think it made me a little bit more scrappy. You don't have a lot of like scrappy players in golf. Let's just be honest, it's a bit of a upper class sport. So you're gonna have it's gonna be hard to kind of get someone from like rougher background. But I at least tried to pretend that I came from maybe a little bit of a harder circumstance in terms of being a competitive golfer. So I tried to treat myself as an underdog. And I remember I never got a Division I offer. And the only reason I got on at Loyola is because someone on the team left the program. And so a spot opened up and I got a walk-on offer. So I kind of made up storylines to try and motivate myself as some scrappy underdog. And, I remember going to TPS, which is out in Downers Grove, and one of the coaches there, Robert Renner, he let me stay late because I would get so late because the traffic on Eisenhower is just so bad after school. So it was a little thing to try and paint myself as a scrappier player, and so I think it benefited me.
And there's no doubt that it does. I mean, I think you represent really what a true Chicagoan. Chicago's a city that works, and obviously you had to put in that work. And so the question I have, being a Loyola Rambler, a Chicagoan, how does it feel to etch your name on the same trophy as some of the guys that are now out playing the tour, have played the tour? And then where do you go next after all this, now that this is changed everything, even post amateur. Has this changed the future outlook for you? And if so, how?
I was at dinner with some of my older teammates and a few of their friends, and they said like, "Do you not want to turn professional?" And I really don't know. It's still really up in the air. It's kind of been up in the air for a better part of a year. I'm perfectly content with continuing to just play amateur golf and developing myself as a mid-am. And I think there's a lot of glory in that. I think someone like Stuart Hagestad has demonstrated that you can be a household name and not play professional golf. So I'm really not sure where I go, but I do have a lot of confidence in my game that I could go to a Monday queue and qualify. I've caddied for a former teammate of mine at the NV5 Monday queues at Stonewall Orchard, and I've seen this set up, and I say like, hey, like I could compete and shoot like 7 or 8 under out there. I've done it in Illinois Open qualifiers. I recently shot 7 under at Mistwood, so I feel like I could go out in some of these qualifiers and shoot low numbers. And I luckily have a teammate who his first Korn Ferry event he qualified for, he got 5th in. So I have good stories and people around me that say like anything's possible. So
Charlie Colwyn, the Illinois State AM champion, with us here on the CDGA Golf Show. So being a Chicago guy through and through, what are some of your favorite courses to play in the area, and what are some of the courses that like made you the golfer that you are today?
I gotta start out with Oak Brook Golf Club. It's kind of funny because it's right next to Butler, which is probably the most prestigious country club in Illinois. And so you have this little golf course, Oak Brook, and that's where my first like real golf coach was, Dan Kochevar, and he taught me the reins and then honed my game there. But I'm now a member at the Glen Club, and they treat me great. I learned to play there, and Loyola got us out to some great places too. So I have gotten to play Butler, and that was kind of a full circle moment, playing Butler after growing up next to it at Oak Brook.
Charlie, you mentioned
Charlie,
Chicago Highlands is great. Yeah.
Charlie, you mentioned that we spoke after the round on Thursday. What have the last 24, 36 hours been like for you? Maybe starting with the drive back up to Chicago from Bloomington, and then up through here. Who have you heard from? What have you been able to do? Things like that.
Just all my coaches, all my friends. I try to do my best to respond to all of them, but it's been really cool to see the support from, former competitors, former teammates, coaches, and I'm proud to say that like they coached me. That was probably the most cool thing, is that I get to say that like you got to coach at State Am. That's been a big dream of mine. I've tried to do it not just for me, but for the people that have helped me. So it's been really, really cool.
So Charlie, who do you look up to on the PGA Tour, or who would you describe my game is most like?
I don't know how close my game is to anyone out there. Obviously, they're way better than me, but I've always liked the stories of Graham McDowell and Jason Day, because they came from a little bit of a harder background and they had to put in extra work to get better. I remember seeing a story of Jason Day's mother, after his father passed away, basically took his siblings' college fund to put him through private school, and he basically had his one chance. And so it's stories like that I find the most interesting. Obviously, guys like Rory, when they idolize Tiger, that's really cool, but seeing Jason Day basically grow up poor and somehow making it to the PGA Tour, and McDowell having to buy his own clubs at 9 years old, that's to me the coolest stories. So those guys are definitely the two I looked up to growing up.
Charlie, I appreciate you taking the time with us today. Best of luck with everything else down the road with you and your golfing career, and look forward to chatting again in the future.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me, guys.
That's Charlie Colwyn, the Illinois State Am champion, with us here on the CDGA Golf Show. We will wrap the show next and go around the CDGA. This segment brought to you by Cog Hill Golf and Country Club.
This is the CDGA Golf Show on ESPN 1100.3 HD2 and the ESPN Chicago app. YouTube, exclusive content from ESPN Chicago. Subscribe today at ESPN 1000 Chicago.
Break away to Kohler, just 2 hours north of Chicago, host of 6 majors and the Ryder Cup. Play 72 holes of championship golf at Whistling Straits and Black Wolf Run and the Baths, a 10-hole par 3. Experience the Kohler water spas and explore hundreds of acres of outdoors. 2026 and 2027 golf packages with 2 to 5 night accommodations are available to book now. Book early for best rates and availability. Call 855-718-3588 to reserve your custom stay today. Summer is heating up as golf's future stars return to the Glen Club for the Evans Scholars Invitational July 23rd through 26th. See who will follow in the footsteps of past champions like Scotty Scheffler and Cameron Young on their way to PGA Tour stardom. Thanks to BCU, your community credit union, admission is free. Want more access? Upgrade your experience with access to the lemonade stand presented by Mike's Hard Lemonade or Corona Cabanas. Who's next? Find out this July at the Glen Club. Visit esinvitational.com to claim your tickets and learn more.
Tour Edge presents the all-new Exotic Series irons, MB, CB, and Max. Built for total performance for every player. Each design reflects the quality, craftsmanship, and technical obsession that's defined Tour Edge from the start. Learn more about the Exotic Series at touredge.com.
With Republic Bank of Chicago, you don't have to scramble to keep your business growing. Our commercial lending options will move your business from tee to green every time. Republic Bank of Chicago, banking beyond expectations.
Village Links of Glen Ellen provides a country club experience at a public golf facility in Glen Ellen. With a top-rated 27-hole complex that's proudly hosted 48 PGA Tour and USGA qualifying events, Village Links is considered one of the premier golf courses in the Chicago area, conveniently located near I-88 and 355. After your round, dine on the spectacular patio at Reserve 22 Restaurant Bar and Banquets, overlooking the pristine 18th green. Go to villagelinksgolf.com and get ready for a great round. See you at the links.
Experience the best golf on the North Shore. Head over to Glenview Park Golf Club. Book your tee time 24/7 at golfglenview.com or call 847-724-0250. Golfglenview.com or 847-724-0250. Experience the best.
Voted a 5-star course by Chicagoland Golf Magazine, Fox Bend Golf Course has hosted 3 Illinois Opens. This 6,900-yard par 72 gem appeals to all levels of play. Conveniently located just 45 minutes from downtown in the western suburbs. To book a tee time, visit foxbendgolfcourse.com.
Hey, Chicagoland, it's time to tee up your next golf adventure with a trip to Tullymore Golf Resort, featuring 36 championship holes at 2 5-star rated golf courses. Spend more time on the course and less time in the car. Tullymore is just a quick 3.5-hour drive from the city. Enjoy an up-north golf experience without the drive at Tullymore Golf Resort. Experience a Michigan masterpiece. Start your trip with just a click at tullymoregolf.com. That's tullymoregolf.com.
Guys, it's Yurko. After playing football for as long as I did, one thing never changed. You're always looking for that edge. Better preparation, better results. Why settle for average when you don't have to? That's why Blue Chew Gold caught my attention. Blue Chew Gold is a revolutionary 4-in-1 formula designed to work on both your body and your mind. It combines 2 proven ingredients for blood flow with apomorphine and oxytocin to help enhance arousal, desire, and connection. It's not just about being physically ready, guys. It's about feeling confident, getting mentally dialed in, getting your mind right. It dissolves under your tongue and can start working in as little as 15 minutes. Less waiting, more confidence when it matters most. Ladies, if you're listening, send your guy the link. He'll thank you later. We've got a special deal now for all our listeners. Get 10% off your first month of Blue Chew Gold with code ESPN. That's promo code ESPN. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. And we thank Blue Chew for sponsoring.
From PGA to where you should play, this is the CDGA Golf Show with Mike Gilligan and Tyler Rocky, presented by Glenview Park Golf Club.
Thank you to Nick Palazzolo for producing today's show. This segment brought to you by PGA Tour Superstore. At this point in the show, every single week, we go around the CDGA. And again, CDGA members, you should have received the latest edition of Chicago District Golfer Magazine. I got mine Thursday in the mail. Looking forward to reading through that. But Casey and Mike, what do we have going on around the CDGA this week?
Yeah, that's where I wanted to start, actually, Tyler, just with the July publication mentioned earlier. A brief note about the cover story, a retrospective / preview regarding the Western Amateur that will be being contested at Beverly Country Club at the end of the month and the beginning of August, after last being held there in 2014. Kind of our last President's Cup preview piece. We're approaching about 2 months out from the event. So kind of the final in the series that's been written by Ed Sherman over the course of the last few months. He kind of focuses on the captains in this one, Jeff Ogilvy, Brant Snedeker, and the perspective that they're going to bring to the event. And then kind of a real neat feature story on a growing caddy program at Columbus Park, the course located on Chicago's west side, and sort of the unique program that's been set up there by a variety of entities, including the CDGA, to give some local youth the opportunity to learn how to caddy and everything along those lines. So just some of the highlights of that. If you haven't received it yet, or if you're not a member, the online version is available on our website as well. Anything from your end, Mike?
Oh, no, I just really wanted to say, as I'm flying down here to Ocean Isle Beach, I had a chance to read it because it arrived into my house. And congrats to you and the team for another outstanding issue. And I just love the preview and how it sets everything up for the calls we had. And it's a great read, a great job. And gosh, if you're not getting this magazine and you're into golf, you're really missing out. So cdga.org, place to go to join the 120,000 strong. But great job, great read, and I'm looking forward to a great weekend from Ocean Isle.
Yeah, appreciate that, Mike. And then from an event perspective, kind of the beat rolls on here in the summer, trying to cram as much as we can into the limited window we have to run golf events in Chicago. Monday, we've got a couple of different events. One is going to be at Oak Park Country Club. It's our annual For Our Veterans fundraiser, which is a fundraising event put on by the CDGA Foundation specific to our veterans programs. And so everything is kind of themed around that. We're going to have one of our blind veterans clinics taking place in the morning to lead into the event. And then it'll be kind of your traditional golf outing, but I'd say more of a high-end elevated experience with a limited field, higher-end dining, things along those lines. Chip Beck is going to be there, former Ryder Cup star, performed very well at the Masters in the past. He's very entertaining and will be posted up on one of the holes, chatting with the participants. At the same time, we're also going to be out at Prairie Landing in the western suburbs, hosting our annual Family Stableford Championship, which is an event that is a two-person event meant to highlight different family connections. So you see a lot of father-sons, brothers, mothers-sons, fathers-daughters, things along those lines. So that's kind of what we have on tap next week. And then the week after, we're going to be at Skokie Country Club for the four-ball championship, which will be a great spot. And then lastly, Mike, I don't know if you have anything in particular you wanted to touch on, but we have our second CPD event next week as well. This time we shift to Marquette Park, and we'd like to continue the success we've had with those events, integrating the Chicago Police Department and local youth through golf.
Yeah, we're expecting 200 kids and 20 to 40 officers to join us out at Marquette Park. So if you have a youngster that wants to be introduced to the game and you're in and around the Marquette area, please feel free to step out on Thursday. The program will go from 10 until 1, and we'll give the kids lunch, and they'll end up with a T-shirt for the way home, and hopefully learn to love and admire and appreciate the game of golf and the places we play it. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I know we want to give kind of a hearty thank you and a good luck in retirement to Larry Snelling as he steps down, and he was very instrumental 100%. In helping us get this program off the ground and really believed, and I'm sure continues to believe in the mission and in terms of what golf can do to sort of bridge some of those gaps between the local community and the police. So best of luck to him in retirement, and thanks to him for all the support over the last couple of years.
Absolutely. All right, that's going to do it for us here on this Saturday. White Sox Weekly and Peggy and Dionne still to come here on ESPN Chicago. And again, thank you to our presenting sponsor, the Glenview Park Golf Club, for bringing you the CDGA Golf Show every single week. This segment has been brought to you by our friends over at PGA Tour Superstore, and we will be back next week here at 9 a.m. on ESPN Chicago. We'll talk to you then.
This is the CDGA Golf Show on ESPN 1100.3 HD2 and the ESPN Chicago app.
Golf with the legends at Destination Geneva National in Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. Enjoy 54 holes designed by Arnold Palmer, Gary Player, and Lee Trevino. Stay right on the course in luxurious suites, group cottages, or the newly renovated and reimagined Lakeview rooms at the Lodge. Between rounds, savor on-site dining at the Hunt Club Steakhouse, Craft at Italia, and Turf Kitchen and Tap. Or unwind at Paloma Cantina, overlooking the dance floor, the entertainment-style putting course. Visit DestinationGN.com for details on Wisconsin's closest multi-course golf resort to the greater Chicagoland area.
Play golf in Elgin. Check out the Golf Elgin app and book a tee time at Bowes Creek Country Club or the Highlands of Elgin. One of Golf Week's most recognized golf courses, it is ready for your private club experience. Enjoy Bowes Creek at bowescreekcc.com.
Like a good caddy, the Treasury Management team at Republic Bank of Chicago is ready to carry the load and provide the advice and solutions your business needs to succeed. Republic Bank of Chicago, banking beyond expectations.
Hey guys, it's Sylvie. Summer heat is here and your AC is working harder than ever. Do not wait for a breakdown. Call Four Seasons now for a complete AC tune-up for just $89.95. They'll back it up with a 1-year no breakdown guarantee. If your AC breaks down, they'll fix it free of charge. All for just $89.95. For all your cooling, plumbing, and electrical needs, you know who to call.
For all the right reasons, call 866-4 Seasons.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
This is ESPN Chicago. WMVP, WTBC, HD2 Chicago. A Good Karma Brands radio station.
Dionne, do you have everything working at home?
I think.
I know.
I don't know. Do I?
It's been
I'm
a
not
hot
sure.
minute.
It's been a long time. I'm not sure. Who are you again? How long have we been off? What's happening?
I know. I filled in yesterday on Carmen and Yurko, and they're like, were you off like the whole summer? I'm like, sort of.
Sort of we were, Peggy. I know this week I filled in with Hoodie. I had to find my headphones, find them. It was an actual hunt. But we got it.
I had to figure out how to get to where to park, how to I forgot what level I was parked on at the parking garage. I mean, I was a hot mess. It was oh well,
it was,
right?
I mean, oh well is right. And we have so much to catch up on, but I did point out this week, the most Peggy and Dionne accurate summer vacations were taken. You went to Africa and I went to Amish country.
Did it, Nick?
Hey, ladies, get funky.
Oh my God. Listen up. We're back.
And we're back, and we're excited about it. Right. This is great summer music right here.
This is a take on it's a Welcome Back Cotter. Remember that?
Is it really?
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah, no, I hear it now a little bit. Yeah.
Listen to it. Nick, put it up a little bit.
You know you like that. You know you like that. See, I rep the most high, still I'm the most fly. I went so much
Now, of
to
course,
wanna
you know can't
who
hear
I'm
it, but
coached by.
yeah.
That's really good. Perfect for White Girl Radio. Peggy and Dionne is brought to you by Advantage Acura Dealer Group, the destination for your next Chevy, Acura, Toyota, and now Cadillac, Buick, GMC. Find your advantage at AdvantageDealerGroup.com.
And hey, don't forget, even though this is a snack size show, as Dionne has nicknamed us when we have a short show, you can always check us out on the video stream. The ESPN 1000 video stream this week is brought to you by, as always, First Bank Chicago, where your interest is our priority, and Roofers Union Local 11. Go to chicagoroofingcontractors.org. How are you, girlfriend?
I am good. I am good. The summer is flying by. I cannot believe we are already past the All-Star break. It is the second half of July. We are officially 1 month until one of my children starts school. Like, it's 1 month from yesterday is the first day of school. And I feel like my summer to-do list is still incredibly long. I don't feel like I've had time to do anything. Like, it just feels like, and I keep saying, I'm like, oh, we took one vacation, that was it. But just everything is flying by. It just is. It's just going really, really fast. I don't know how else to describe it. It just feels almost impossible that we're already in the middle towards the back end of summer. Like, that's truly where we are.
When I had my daughter 18 years ago, I remember saying, wow, I'm going to be old by the time she leaves for college. Well, in 16 days, she leaves for college. And I got to tell you, the whole empty nest thing, it's in my head.
Yeah.
It's really, and I think if I was younger, it would be different. I would be a lot more, oh, this is going to be great.
Yeah.
But, I think because I'm an older mom, you just kind of go, whoa. Wow, time is like, how do I slow it down?
Right, I know. But you're not an older mom. You are just experienced and wise. But I understand what you're saying. Yeah, and I understand what you're saying, because there is a shift, I feel like, that happens, like at our age, maybe a little bit later, that you aren't as ambitious as you once were, right?
Yes.
And you're not as, like, your list isn't, oh, I got to do this and I got to try this and I want to go here and I want to. We're tired. I mean, that's the bottom line. Like, you get to the end, you're like, wow, I'm just a little more tired than I see the younger counterparts, right? And so I agree with you. I understand that feeling has to feel a little bit of anxiety about, like, what is it going to be like when I'm not pushed to take care of children or make sure, I mean, and you will always be their parent, and that will just shift. Their needs will shift and you will accommodate them in a different way. But the day-to-day of, like, getting them here and coming here and going here, like, that's over. And that's, I mean, that's like I would mourn that a little bit, I think.
I'm telling you, I know my husband and I were talking about this at dinner last night. We almost have to go back to making lists of what we're going to do. Like, what do we want to do now that we have time to ourselves? Like, just little things on a daily basis, stupid things like, let's walk along the lakefront. We've never done it. Let's go to the Art Institute on an afternoon, and then drink wine at a cafe,
Sounds lovely.
Like, literally all those little things that you say you're going to do, we have to now write them down to do it, because when you and I are such busy people, we pound a lot in a day, right? And I'm so used to when my husband would say, oh, what do you have going on today? And I would say, well, we have a meeting with her counselor. We have to get her doctor's visit in. We have a follow-up from her spine surgery. We have to go pick up this from the pharmacy. There's always something to do. There's always errands to, like, that's what moms do. We run errands.
Yeah.
So
we do.
Now it's going to be so weird not having those errands to run that really took up a good chunk of my day. And I just got to find a way to. So tell me what, like, you started this segment by saying, and welcome in everyone. It is Peggy. I know you're probably wondering, who in the heck is that on the air?
Who are these people?
Haven't been here for a while.
I know.
But that's good, because White Sox baseball, a lot of people have been tuning in to White Sox baseball. But real quickly, before we start talking sports here, what is the one thing that you wanted to do this summer
that
you still have not done?
Okay, so as like something I want to do as an experience or something on my to-do list, because those are
Anything.
very much two different things. Well, something that I started in the wintertime, this is embarrassing. I started in the wintertime painting my laundry room because I'm in there all the time and it's just like a little hallway dungeon feeling kind of thing. And I
Yeah.
wanted to make it brighter. And I got about, I would say 2/3 of the way done. And I wrapped up the paint and haven't touched it since. So that I want to finish that. And I don't even I look at it, I'm like, Dion, it's probably 90 minutes of your life. You could get this done so quickly. And then I also bought like tile, peel and stick tile to put on the floor. It's all sitting right there. I could probably do it in less than 2 hours. That is something that I've wanted to do. And I just have not gotten it done. That was on the list before summer started. It remains on the list now.
That to me is something you do when the kids are in school and they're
Right,
gone
yes,
all
yes.
morning before you have to go
Yes.
to work. Like that's something to me. Save that for the fall. What else? did you
Yes,
do?
exactly. Well, something that I wanted to do with Ray is there is this is more of like a date night thing, but there's this restaurant, Foxtail on the Lake, in Des Plaines. It's this old
Yes,
church.
I've
It's
heard about
so
it.
beautiful. Well, they have a speakeasy in the basement. And I have been dying to go and experience that. We've been there for like a late lunch, early dinner. We have a reservation for a dinner coming up there and it's lovely. But I've wanted to just sit in the speakeasy and like sip wine and take our time and maybe walk and have a cigar or something. Like that's a summer thing I wanted to do and we just haven't done it yet.
Is that Foxtail on the Lake? Is that like little man-made lake over there that it's off
Yes.
of like Devon or something?
Yes, I don't remember exactly what road it's off of, but it does feel like it's kind of almost random. Like it's a
Yes.
dock. It's a dock there that you can take boats
Yep.
out and stuff like that, and it's right there on the lake. But yeah, it's a man-made lake. It's beautiful,
Oh, God,
but
I
it just
love
sounds
that.
so cool. Doesn't it sound cool? Like
I
almost
would
like
do
you're
that.
hiding away. Yeah, we got to do that.
I feel
We gotta
like
do it.
maybe Carmen and Sylvie were talking about that, and I think they
Yeah.
know the owners of it, and
Yep.
so they went
Yeah.
out there.
Yeah.
So hello,
I know.
hello, Peggy and
Still
Dionne would
accepting-
like to go.
We're still accepting sponsors as well. I mean, I don't know if anybody is interested, but that door is always open if you'd like to sponsor the fun here on Peggy and Dionne. What is on your list? What have you not gotten done?
To be honest, I feel like the whole trip to Africa that was really it, and it took
Yeah.
up so much of my time planning it. But I will say this might be a fall project for me as well. Once my daughter leaves for college, as you know, I'm a foodie. I'm
Mhm.
one of those obnoxious people that takes pictures of her food. But I would love to write down all the Michelin star restaurants that I've been to. I have pictures of them on my phone. I would
Yeah.
like to put together TikTok videos of each restaurant
I
and
love that.
start posting them. So
I love
that's
that.
kind of one of my goals is to get the TikTok done with my little foodie hobby. So that's really
That's awesome. You know what I noticed when we were off on our break, the James Beard Awards were here, and that
Yes.
restaurant that you went to and you came in and you told us about that. He's the only one who got that, who was given an award. Yeah, Feld. Yes.
Jake
I
Flashman.
immediately was like, oh my word, I actually have heard of this. I was
So
very
take that,
pleased.
Hey, so I know you're not a big golfer, but did you see what happened yesterday to Bryson DeChambeau at the Open
Yes.
Championship?
Yes, I did.
Okay, you
Yes, I
guys,
did.
for all of us hackers out there, you have to hear this because he was tied for second, finished his round, went into the clubhouse, was already in second place at that point. The RNA rules officials came in to find him to talk to him about a shot that he had back on the fifth hole. He was in the rough. They call it that fescue. It's that tall grass. It's like brownish grass. In finding his ball, he was trying to like get a look at what his shot was going to look like, and he kept backing up to get a look of his shot. And so he's kind of trampling on the fescue, the grass behind him. By doing that, he basically was flattening the fescue from his backswing. Now, whether it was unintentional or intentional, they ruled that it was unintentional, but it still happened, and they assessed a 2-stroke penalty.
Yeah.
He started the day in 5th place. His agent was threatening that he may not show up to finish the Open Championship. But sure enough, he did show up today.
Yeah.
And he's there and he's playing.
Yeah.
He's not in. I was trying to find. Here we go. He is tied for 9th now. So he is still at 5 under, tied for 9th. But it's still a leaderboard filled with the only names that a lot of people know. Well, some people know Sam Burns. Tommy Fleetwood now is tied for 4th at 7 under. He's 1 stroke back. Woo Kim is at 7 under. Aberg is at 5 under. Scotty Scheffler is at 5 under. So it's still kind of anyone's game, but they are just tearing it up there. But I had to tell you that we have fescue where I play my women's golf league. I have stepped on it purposely to give myself a better swing. I did not know you couldn't do that.
No way. I wouldn't have known that either. I wouldn't have known that either. But they ruled that it was unintentional, but they still gave him
unintentional, but it still happened. So
wow, they're not playing around. Now he is within striking distance. I will say Ryan Fox, 62 today. That's why he's in the lead. That's crazy.
3 guys.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy.
3 guys shot 62s.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, the other thing coming up tomorrow is the World Cup and the final between Spain and Argentina. Have you seen the resale price to go to Sunday's championship match?
I haven't even looked because some of the prices even leading up to this match were so outlandish and I could not believe it. I couldn't believe how expensive they were. What is it? What is it right now?
Carmen brought it up. I have never seen this before. $12,751 is the average resale price to go to Sunday's final. The most expensive sporting event ever. Ever. Yes. Now, if you have a little bit of World Cup envy because it's not in Chicago or was not in Chicago, there's still a shot that Chicago could be a player. The White House official, Andrew Giuliani, says that FIFA has already talked to Donald Trump, our president, and said that the U.S. will be hosting the 2031 Women's World Cup.
Wow.
In which, the women have a much
massive fun.
Of winning.
Of course.
And that it would be played in different cities than those that hosted the Men's World Cup that's going on right now. So,
wow, that would be so cool. Yeah, that's very interesting.
So
yeah.
I hope
that'd be really, really cool. I hope so too. It'd be really fun. It'd be really, really fun. Really fun. I'm glad that it looks like they'll be able to play outside of like the air quality issues that we had this week, which was so trippy. Thursday was so bizarre. Like that, the air, it was so weird. It was eerie. It was uncomfortably eerie at times. It was so weird. So I'm glad that it does look like that will happen without a hitch, which is good. I don't know who Spain has been so good. I would be surprised if they don't have, they've allowed 1 goal. That's it.
Oh my gosh. It's going to be
insane.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's going to be nuts. But that much money, you know what I kept thinking about when I heard how expensive the tickets were, Peggy, was that there are people who were at like the quarters and the semis who are now going to go to the final. Who's just carrying around that much money? That's insane.
I know. I don't know where these people get. It's crazy. I had no idea.
Yeah, it's outrageous. Outrageous.
Well, we could talk. When we come back, let's talk Cubs and Sox.
Yeah, let's do it.
They were back at it last night. So Cubs, Sox, and so much more. Not really.
I mean, no, I know you mentioned we're a snack size. I don't even think we're that. We're like barely a past hors d'oeuvre for 30 minutes. It's like nothing.
And
so we'll come back.
Yes.
You're listening to Peggy and Dionne on Chicago's home for sports. This is ESPN 1000.
Who is it? Postman Law, your injury and accident attorney.